Sleep? Who needs sleep? We're back for day 2 of the MLB draft. We'll see if the Guardians can whiff on some more picks or make us mad, or I don't know if you got anything left in the tank for today, but let's see what happens.
You are Locked On Guardians, your daily podcast on the Cleveland Guardians. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome on into not the Thunderdome today on day 2 of the MLB draft. This is the live stream for day 2 of the draft. Guardians won't pick for a while.
We already have one of my targets off the board.
Yeah, who we got?
Landon Hodge. The White Sox took Landon Hodge, who I thought Cleveland might look at. He is a defense-first catcher, good athlete. I only went 77 deep. If I went 100 deep, Hodge would have made it for me. He's a fun player, a good defender. They apparently are going to go with needing more catchers because, they already have Teal and Quaro, so that's a good one. I just want to, again, before we go too deep, because I feel like I have to reiterate this all the time, the reason we were lower on yesterday's picks is there is literally no examples of guys with 25% K rates being successful. Like Mark Reynolds was low 20s. That was what people brought up yesterday. It's just, again, not start on the negative, but people keep asking. So I'll say, the reason I think Chase is a terrible pick and the reason I have, in the third round, whatever, but it's, Brent Rookers, the Aaron Judges, everyone was low 20s. The only guy over 23% was Michael Tagalia. So,
who's now back in the minors? Yeah, he's having a very bad year. Yeah,
Riley Kelly is fun to the Colorado Rockies here, number 2.
I liked Riley Kelly.
Yeah,
he's got Riley Kelly's an interesting guy. He's and he's also I know this has gone south the last couple of years, examples, but he was a high school quarterback and has a lot of athletic traits. Drew Farrat from Florida State's off the board. You liked him a couple years ago, didn't you?
No.
I thought you did.
No.
His draft year, I thought you did.
No. I just Drew Farrat has always been a guy who's been kind of meh. I just don't see traits or tools that stand out. I was never quite on Drew Farrat. He used to have a big leg kick, so it's nice that that's out of there. But he's a good athlete, utility type for Miami. Miami has gone head. That's all college hitters.
Someone said I like my Galley Boy shirt. Yes, absolutely. I love a good Swenson's. I love the Galley Boy, and that was a fun rebrand for them.
Yeah. And for Jake, I keep explaining it because I keep getting like a million messages about why.
Right. I get it. I mean, we understand people want power. That's fine. I'm cool. I want power too, but we thought there were guys on the board that had power, right? I didn't want Brandon Compton at 27, but like you said, Compton was there. Devin Taylor's got power. He just can't play any position besides left field. And I understand, like Cleveland said, I know Cleveland was saying, everyone was saying, everybody wants positional value. And here's the thing, though. I don't think Jace Lavallette's playing center, so it's not like you also got positional value. I guess he can play right, whereas Devin Taylor is literally only a left fielder. But
no, it's like I said, it's a lot of Nolan Jones in that.
Yeah, program. And like you said last night, I think we should acknowledge too. Clearly they don't respect the Big Ten, and I will say that.
And no one does.
Big Ten competition's not great.
It's a mid-major.
Even adding in Oregon and UCLA doesn't change things. We'll see if it does down the line. But
not going to take Gavin Turley. He just went to Oakland.
Okay.
I'm not too sanguine for him.
That's the first Oakland pick I don't like. No, and there is no Oakland.
I'm going to keep calling him Oakland. I don't care. The other thing I'll say too with Lavalette is he broke his hand, had surgery, played through it, and re-hurt his hand, so he's going to need surgery, and he's not going to play this year.
Yeah, so the Guardians said last night on the they didn't say outright last night he's not going to play this year, but their words from Paul Gillespie, who is their vice president of scouting, basically said they're going to partner with Jace to work on a timeline that's best for him to get back to action. And they're not going to put a timeline on it. And they said they're comfortable with where he's at physically. So very, very unlikely you're going to see him. I'll be surprised. I'll just say this. I'll be surprised if he plays anywhere this year.
We have
because
Miguel Sime going off the board as well now.
Oh, you liked him a little bit.
I did. Big kid, hits 100, really excelled in the draft league nationals. I thought they might go. I mean, he might cost a little bit more in 4th round, but nationals should still have a lot of money to play with. Micah Buckman, that's someone you liked to.
I did like
New Zealander to the Blue Jays.
I don't think I ended up writing him up. I forget why. There was something in the profile. I was like, probably not. Not for Cleveland anyway, because I focus so much on Cleveland types, which clearly I have to scrap my whole list now because I got so many. They just went totally in a different direction. I didn't even write up Will Hines. Like, that was not a guy I was looking at, but
we probably should have. Slider spin. I mean, he fits there so much as a young kid. As Justin said last night, he loved the 17-year-old's upside. Was that the statement?
We're gonna move on. Yeah, Bucknam. Here's the thing: Dallas Baptist also has not produced a ton of great talent.
No, it hasn't.
It's not one of my favorite programs as far as producing talent. Like, remember the other Jace that I liked from there? I know he was not a pitcher, but who was that Jace?
Gustavo Melendez to the Pirates, top player out of Puerto Rico.
So I did write up Gustavo Melendez for Cleveland. Let me go look at my profile here on him.
Small guy, 5'8", good defender at short.
Another 17-year-old.
Yes.
Yeah,
Justin
good basketball
scouted the 17-year-olds this year.
He might not stick at short, young for the class, interesting tools. Might be better if he goes to college. I thought he'd be a day 2 pick, and boom, here we go. I'm gonna have to I don't even know. Like, half my picks that I have on the board are probably not going to happen anymore, just because. Not for Cleveland. Maybe they'll still get Cameron Appenzell. Maybe they'll still go with Yuli Fernsler. I don't know.
I don't know.
The one guy I want today is Michael Winter. I don't know where if he's going to get picked today. I still want Michael Winter. I love the guy that's going to school for mechanical engineering at Dartmouth.
Yeah, they're not drafting that guy. Like, they're not drafting the guy who's in. Teams are still afraid of guys who are too smart. Like, they're not going to be like, oh yeah, you're an engineer. Mason Neville off the board. There we go. That's one of the highest players. Mason Neville to the Reds, which is fun because it's an Adam Dunn profile. It is he led the country, had the most home runs in college baseball this past year.
I thought Jay Slaviolette was the Adam Dunn profile.
No, Jay Slaviolette, it's no. Adam Dunn didn't miss in the zone. Like, if you made a mistake, Adam Dunn killed it. He was overly the passiveness is there in both of them, but Laviolette's really high zone miss rate was not Adam Dunn. Mason Neville was terrible in the Cape, so that hurts him. The Big Ten wasn't good, but he was a big time prospect who transferred into Oregon, and I mean, he had great numbers. He brought down his K rate. He did everything right. Nice. I thought a true 3 outcomes guy who's a potential plus defender in center. Like, we talk about Laviolette, like he could play center field like Nolan Jones plays center field. But I think Mason Neville is a true center fielder, so that's a good pick.
Matthew McConaughey off the board to the Rangers. No, it's Mason McConaughey, but that was a Nebraska kid. He's a big pitcher, but again, this is a Big Ten guy, so it is what it is.
It's just interesting to see, the Nebraska guy. He missed most of this year due to Tommy John.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just looking at a big kid, maybe some upside, some growth. I love Texas's day 1 draft with Fiend, Owens, and Russell. There's a chance that maybe this is a little bit of savings for one of those picks.
I thought you didn't like Fiend. I guess maybe down that board you did.
Yeah, at that point it's fine. Like, when you're looking at the whole encapsulation of it, that's fine. Like, I liked Owens a lot and I liked Russell a lot. Lorenzo Miola.
I liked him a little bit. Stetson guy, yeah, he's fun.
I got a text today that
there's a lot of athleticism there.
Yeah, went for vote under slot. I don't think it's to get Miola, but that's another pick. They're loading up the middle now. But
Aiden Major, Jeff, is out for the season. He had Tommy John after the 2024 season.
Right?
Yeah, he had Tommy John last year, so he's not pitching at all this year. He'll be back in 2026.
I'm gonna edit up. My big board is getting low. We've got
last year. I think I went back. I had all the write-ups I did last year. I think I wrote up 13 of the Guardians picks last year. So this year I don't think I'm going to have any. I
only have 6 players left on my big board. Dominic Fritton is another. Tampa took him. That's a very Tampa-y pitcher. Undersized guy, good results. NC State got a ton of strikeouts this year. And then, I thought Cleveland might like him. I don't know if you wrote him up or not because he's a high extension guy. Dominic Fritton. So even though he's 6'1", he's got great extension. So he is,
I didn't write him
because Tampa, and that's the thing, Tampa and Cleveland both like extension guys. They both like release point. They do a lot of things. And he's a guy who just, was a little up and down, but missed a ton of at bats. And, if Tampa likes a guy as a pitcher, you can almost bet Cleveland would have liked him.
Jeff, do you have anything on Carter Wilcox from Colorado?
I have not spent any time on him. Mason White had big power production numbers this year at Arizona. Again, it's easy to hit for power in Arizona. He's an undersized guy. He had a lot of chase and a lot of I was not in on Mason White. I got to be really honest.
Dominic Britton, by the way, same high school as Jackson Humphreys, Fuquay Varina. Yeah. That's the same high school as Jackson Humphreys. Jackson Humphreys, I will say, I've heard a lot of great things about him as a kid. He sounds like he's a very nice kid.
He didn't have any command at a high school.
Loves baseball card collecting. The control in the pros has been very brutal, I will say, unfortunately.
So Mason White is in the red for zone whiff, in the red for chase. Good exit velo, good launch angle, good barrel. But he's just an expansion king, and he's sub 6 feet. But he has a chance to play up the middle. So that's a fun one as well. It's a lot of fun guys so far. It's going quick.
Yeah, this is going to be a quick day because and Jack. Oh, there goes Jackson Reitz, the Twins, one of your favorites, Jeff. He's 6'11". You love the big. I like him young. You like him big.
No, the opposite. I hate. Oh, it's Tony Miole's cousin, according to Arthur.
Yes,
but
it is, yes.
The thing, a tall pitch. Well, it makes sense with the Twins, right? There are 3 starting pitchers in baseball who are 6'7" or bigger. Tyler Glasnow, who's always hurt. Tyler Wells, who's gotten hurt a lot, and Bailey Ober. So they just added, Jackson Reitz to go with Bailey Ober.
Yeah.
Is mine not updating? Where did you see that pick already?
Jackson Reitz. It's on the tracker online.
Oh, it wasn't. Mine didn't update for whatever reason. Reitz is fine. It's a okay value pick. He's gonna have a crazy release point and all that other stuff. But it's just Cade Crossland, someone that we talked about as a potential Guardians type of guy, goes to the Cardinals.
Yeah, we did.
It's he's peaked at high 90s. There's some he causes some chase.
That's a high school guy, right? Cade Crossland.
No, he's at Oklahoma.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
And
he was kind of interesting.
He's got a good changeup. Was the big thing.
I don't think I wrote him up for the Guardians, but I was pretty close. The last guys I have on my list for Cleveland, to be honest, are Sean Episcope from Princeton. Anthony Eison's still there, which is interesting.
No, he's not. He went to the Red Sox.
Did he go to the Red Sox? Yeah. Okay. Jack Anchor from Fresno State, Trace Phillips from Middle Tennessee, Michael Salina from St. Bonaventure, Gabe Craig, Tanner Franklin's gone. You have Sean Youngerman still there for Oklahoma State. You liked him.
I did. Caleb Wing go to the Cubs. That's
I did write up Caleb. I did like Caleb Wing. He was on my top 100. Caleb Wing I had at 94.
Yeah, he just went to the Cubs. It's probably our highest rated guy so far on day 2.
Cubs are having a nice draft, I will say. I do like what the Cubs are doing. I mean, Conrad was a risk, but I don't mind it. Kane Kepley, he's going to play center. He's going to hit for contact. He's one of the guys that would have, pissed off Cleveland fans, which I want to go back to. There were so many mock drafts that were like, clearly nobody saw this coming. And again, I also want to stress, there's a reason nobody saw this coming because Cleveland is a Fort Knox. Everyone was wondering what they're going to do. And it's they're going to take Tate Sulicine. They're going to take Anthony Eisen. They're going to take Kane Kepley. They're going to take, whoever. And they took somebody nobody had in mind. Of course, I don't think anybody thought that Jay Slavolette was getting there to 27, which might have something to do with who they took. But it went against type. And then
Dominic Dallas Baptist kid, Mason Peters to Seattle.
I don't know who it is. And then Caleb Wing for the Cubs. Yeah. So no. But I really like what the Cubs are doing so far, I will say. Who were your favorite drafts of day one? Because I mean, obviously for me, the Athletics are really high.
Yeah,
I like Jamie Arnold.
I liked
Devin Baylor.
Miami Marlins quite a bit. They drafted
I thought the Orioles had a really good first day. I liked Ike Irish at 19 at that point. I like Bodine at 30. Aloy at 31 is fine. DeBrun, and then I obviously I like Joseph.
That is not a good picture of Caleb Wing for the broadcast.
Oh.
It's like all weird shadowed and everything else.
We had a really weird first day. They had guys that were interesting, but the Phillies took all.
No, I loved Phillies, and the Phillies took all Mighty Mites. They took their future bullpen. All three of those guys have high bullpen floors. I like the Phillies a lot. The weirdest draft is, by the way, Dean Livingston, who I know you wrote up and just went to the Diamondbacks.
Did I write him up?
I thought you did. Already. We talked about Dean Livingston quite a bit. Detroit had a incomplete draft. Every single player was big underslots.
That was weird.
I'm curious to see.
Weird.
That's why I say it's an incomplete, because it feels like they're going to come back and spend. But they went massive. Like every single pick, they took a round before that player was slated to go. So I'm like, okay, you're saving money. Now let's see for who. Yeah, or what? Because there's not a ton of huge prospect names left on the board. So I'm very intrigued to see who they're saving for. But they went and had what feels like an incomplete.
Oh yeah, Dean Livingston was the college kid. Colin Yeaman from UC.
Isn't Livingston's a high school senior?
Yeah, he's from. As I said, he's a high school senior. Yeah, he's from high school from Georgia. Yeah, 6'4".
Yeaman from Urban is fun. Yeah, the shortstop.
I wasn't really as big on him. I know he hit a lot, but I don't know. I don't think there's going to be any power in that game. But I guess we're also around 4, so 6'4", 205. Maybe he'll grow into some. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong player. I'm sorry. He's 6'2", 200. That was Dean Livingston. All right, the Brewers are definitely going to snipe somebody we both like here. Let's be honest. The question is, who is it? DeCorbin. I know. Okay, James Ellwinger went last night. Corbin Dickerson, is he still there?
Yes, he's still there.
Nobody took Cam Lyther, right?
No, he went to the Dodgers.
Oh, he did go to the Dodgers. Oh, that makes sense. They're going to rehab him, and I don't know. He can't throw strikes, but the Dodgers don't care. Which means in 2 years, they'll have another Tommy John. Luke Hill, I think, is still there, right? Is he still there?
Yes, he's still there.
Corbin Dickerson. Did Josiah Hartshorn get taken?
No.
Reed Worley's still there. Braden Jaska. Did you like Braden Jaska? I had him in my top 100.
I mean, he wasn't a top 100 guy for me.
And then I had River Hamilton.
Brewers took Joshua Flores.
Oh, okay.
The pitcher, not to be confused with Jalen Flores, the shortstop from Texas. He's a so I didn't love Flores just because he's one of those guys who struggles to throw strikes right now, but he's also that guy where it's like it's tools over approach, and the Brewers are so dang good at pitcher development.
Jeff Bryan was asking one of our everydayers, and shout out to Brian, also does a lot of good work in journalism on his own. He wanted to know about the college pitching. He was saying we thought there was a lot of college pitching in this draft. Will they continue to do that? And I don't know. A lot of the college pitching you and I both liked, I feel like, is off the board. Like, yeah,
there's
there's a couple guys on my list, like I said, and of course, the Guardians might not take guys on my list anymore because they're changing. But like I said, I had Sean Episcope from Princeton, Jack Anker from Fresno State, Trace Phillips, Michael Salina from St. Bonaventure. I don't know if you ever got to him, but I really like Gabe Craig from Baylor. Matt Barr,
it's a reliever, so I didn't spend too much time with him. I really like Youngerman was a guy I thought was very much one of their.
Sean Youngerman's there, yeah. Here's a couple other ones I had on here. Did Zane Taylor get drafted? The UNC Wilmington guy?
No.
Okay, I liked him. He's smaller. I wrote up Isaac Lyon from Grand Canyon, Sawyer Hawks from Vanderbilt. Who wouldn't shock me, Jeff? Colton Shaw from Yale, because they do like Cape Success guys from the Ivy Leagues. You know who wouldn't shock me today is Ryan Prager for Cleveland. As a senior sign.
Well, here's the thing. It would, because they put more. His sophomore year was kind of mid, and he had one great junior year. Like, they put value in your underage year.
That guy lost himself. Alec Blair is still there. Oh, well, I don't know. I think he goes to college now. That he's still there.
Could. Briggs McKenzie just went off the board to Atlanta.
Oh, okay. So I had Briggs McKenzie at really high on my list. Where's Briggs McKenzie for me? 46. I really like Briggs McKenzie. I don't think I wrote off Cleveland.
Nick Monaster, who went to Houston before this, I didn't mention him. There's like no data. It's a Southern Miss on the MLB thing. Not previously drafted. He was the Sun Belt Player of the Year, but it's the most sparse profile with no picture I've seen on all of this.
Yikes. Briggs McKenzie, I mean, the fastball might be a little bit light, but he's a North Carolina kid. But he's 6'2" with a lefty, and he has some control.
Did the Royals just do a family draft?
I don't know who that is.
They just took Nolan Sailors. Don't they have Sailors as one of their coaches?
That's Drew Sailor. That's a different last name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't think they're doing that in the 4th round.
It'd be a little weird.
Yeah, if you do that in the 4th round, you've got a problem.
All-time favorite athlete for him is Ozzie Smith. That's unusual at this age.
I love a good historian.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Why not? Good for him.
His dream car is a Bugatti. His favorite team is the St. Louis Cardinals. So there
you go, Jeff. Arthur said that they're using John Cena's picture for Nick Monaster on the front.
I was like, that's just but Nolan Sailors is going to the Royals, but he was a St. Louis fan. Like that's a competition in that area for who you're going to root for.
Yeah,
he's a Nebraska kid. So that's it was just kind of funny to see that name. He's played really well at Creighton the last 2 years. On base skills, really
people love sitting there saying, I have no problem with the Guardians taking a Kyle Schwarber type. I'm not going to go there. Is Matt Barr too tall for you? No, you like Matt Barr.
I don't think he's that tall, is he? He's not like over. It's basically if you're over 6'6", so then I'm confused. Then I'm not there.
Jeff's got a very specific type.
Well, it's because 6'7"
girls like guys over 6 foot, and Jeff likes guys over 6'6" or over 6.
He's 6'6". He's fine. He's at the high edge. I just don't like going over that. Michael Salinas just went to the Padres.
Yeah, I like. Let me see what I have.
And Caleb Lays. Some people I know. I got asked about him throughout the season. University of Maine to Detroit. Lays.
He had Tommy John.
He had Tommy John. But again, that's not a high. I'm like, what is Detroit like? Not spending money this year? Like,
yeah, it's been a weird season. Let me go back and see if I can find what my write up was for. Who were we just talking about? What pitcher we were just talking about that I liked that got taken?
Salinas, Lays, Briggs McKenzie.
Yeah, I wrote up Salinas. Let me see if I can. I had Salinas on my board too. Michael Salinas from St. Bonaventure, 6'1" right-hander. Had a big velo jump this year, 98 to 102 this year. Had Tommy John in April this year, so he's hurt. Undersized, but really good extension.
No, he had Tommy John in 24.
Sorry, yeah, Tommy John in 24. Yeah, he was coming off an injury season, but yeah, he's up to 102, and he gets a ton of extension in his delivery. And Bonaventure kind of is a low-key, decent baseball school. I don't know about as far as...
I don't know if they produced anyone, have they?
I don't know if they produced anyone. Yeah, I don't know about producing anybody, but they've been a decent baseball school. Sean Youngerman to the Phillies, so that takes him off the board for us.
And he's small.
On the clock.
So they have taken a lot of kind of...
all the short kings. I mean, Youngerman's 6'3", so I mean, how dare you, Jeff?
He's the tallest of their group. Everyone else is 6 feet or 6'1".
Yeah.
Youngerman was great on the Cape. He's young for the class. He's
Guardians are on the clock. Type.
So, I thought it's a good vibe. Phillies are doing a really great job.
We're going to see if the Guardians... I'm going to go ahead and guess this is going to be a money saver pick. I don't know. The Guardians didn't... Luke Hill! Okay, I liked Luke Hill, Jeff. I like Luke Hill.
He's a future utility player.
Yeah, this is one of those actual picks that I guess I shouldn't say I like Luke Hill, but I did write him up as a Guardians type because that's the kind of type they've gone for in the past at this point. So they're going back to type a little bit on day 2. So this is more safe. I had Luke Hill 91 on my board. So
yeah, I mean it's a good value here at this point in the draft. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Seeing if I had data on him or not. Luke Hill does not chase, does not expand, has no power at all, and doesn't barrel.
Okay, so cool. Yeah.
That's why he's a backup.
Yeah.
Good launch angle, though.
Future second baseman.
Yeah, and a really nice BABIP, which is a sign of positive contact. So you're hoping for a high contact second baseman utility guy.
This is definitely a money saver. Like, this is not.
It's not. It is 100% not a money saver. He's a top 100 prospect on every board. This is going to be over.
Really?
Yes. This is going to be over. He's a top 100 on every board.
For a college kid?
Yes. I mean, he's a top 100 guy. They just took at 120. There's no way that's an like they had to pay him down. He's a top 100 guy. Doesn't matter. This is over slot.
Man.
This is probably where the money from
Alton
or Walton goes.
Yeah, Walton, yeah. Jeez.
You know,
I mean,
it's a good value. He does some things well. There's just no pop or power.
So again, this is what I'm asking. This is what I'm wondering. Was yesterday an aberration for them based on who was available and value, or was it a change in approach? Because if you look at Luke Hill today, then this is back to their normal type.
I don't know. I think it's an approach. I think they still believe in this approach, but I think they're trying to balance it because they took 3 guys who were identical with. We're going to guys who miss in the zone, but don't. Here's the thing. The one constant is chase. They do not want guys who chase. They don't want Noels.
Which I'm fine with. That's what we want too. It's like that doesn't work. Just in zone swing and miss is brutal.
Yeah, but so Hill is, and he did this at a big program facing great competition. He's been a high level producer.
The Yankees just took my favorite pitcher is Pico Cone.
Oh, you did like Pico Cone quite a bit.
I did quite a bit. Yeah, I'll have to go back and read what my write-up was on him.
So Hill is a solid value pick. The other thing I'll say, we didn't get a chance to run the air, is I got data on Schubart yesterday, so I'll throw this into this chat.
Oh, yeah.
So Nolan Schubart really struggled against top competition in the Pac-12, which is not top competition, but when he faced good competition, his K rates skyrocketed. So he had as a sophomore, because again, this team values sophomore year so much. He had the best exit velocity of any kid in this class. So he is 100% a flyer on power. But when he faced top competition, he couldn't make contact, and he can only be a first baseman DH.
Yeah, so. There is zero defensive value for Nolan Schubart. And we had a commenter, I don't want to call anybody out. We had a commenter, though, who was like, oh, he's going to be in the majors next year. Nolan Schubart's in the majors next year.
No, well, that commenter said that Schubart and Jace Lavalette would break camp with the team. And it was funny because Lavallette's not going to play in the minors this year, and Schubart is.
If Nolan Schubart breaks camp with the team next April or March, I will grill a shoe and eat it. Pico Cone, here's what I wrote: solid 6'4" frame, 3-pitch mix. Did have Tommy John in 2023. Could throw more strikes, but does get a lot of whiffs in the zone and will get chases. Low wide release, good deception. Changeup probably could get him in a rotation, but he might be a left-handed reliever. He needs a changeup, and he needs to throw enough strikes. So there goes Aiden West.
That went so fast, I missed one. Aiden West is a good athlete, right? Or am I getting my Wests confused?
Yes. No, I think you're right.
No, that's round 3.
I gotta go.
I also liked that round 3. Okay, I'm trying to catch up
because that was the end of round 4.
That was end of round 4 because
Aiden West was the final round 4 pick.
I don't really know the Mets other guy, Peter Kusno. I didn't have a ton on him. I know he was a top 250 guy, but was kind of outside my initial one. Dixon Williams from East Carolina to Atlanta. Hey, they have now taken 3 shortstops and a second baseman for Atlanta. The Yankees took the same player twice between Dax Kilby and Caden Kent. And the White Sox just took a gamble on a guy who had a really good combine, but had a terrible year at Oklahoma State, Gabe Davis, another huge pitcher at 6'9". Lots of spin data, not so good performance. Oklahoma State's pitching development has been at best. But I just have to laugh at the Braves drafting 3 shortstops, and now a second baseman, as well as Briggs McKenzie in between.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other reason I'll say I feel like there's kind of an approach change in approach is all of this didn't start with the draft. This changed approach, I think, started when you reacquire Nolan Jones, because that's also his profile.
Yeah, Gabe Davis just went to the White Sox.
Yeah, 6'9".
I like Gabe Davis. He's not a tall guy, but he's interesting.
No, he has
too tall for
ton
you.
Of spin.
I know.
Ton of spin on his pitches at the he had a good combine. Cameron Nelson from Wake Forest just went to the Rockies. Wake has a really good program. Him. I watched Wake a lot, and I don't really remember him. Which is, it's bad when it's a team that I've seen play a ton throughout the year, and I'm like,
yeah,
I don't have anything that stands out in my mind about Cameron Nelson or Cam Nelson. Draft eligible sophomore, or maybe he's
considering how much we focus on Wake.
Yeah,
Chris Arroyo, Virginia just went. I like Chris Arroyo a little bit. He was a really good player in high school.
I got to point this out. So he played 77 games for Wake the last 2 years. Guess how many home runs he hit in that bandbox at Wake?
4.
1.
That's great. That's good.
No power at all. I like how they're showing Gabe Davis combine data because he was so bad this year in college.
Yeah. Luke Hill did walk more than he struck out this year. But again, walk rates in college, who knows? Plus, he's only 6 foot tall. Yeah, he's only right-handed. I really wonder where he's going to wind up playing the pros. Do we think he's going to play shortstop?
Second base.
Probably second base?
Yeah.
Okay. CJ Gray just went to the Angels. I kind of liked him.
Another guy with a good combine.
Yeah, he was fun. And he's also a guy who was, I think, had offers to go play football out of high school, too. So, he was a lot of fun. I really like what they were doing with the bats last night, by the way. Not the Guardians draft, but the way they were inscribing the bats on live TV for the guys. Although, what's funny about that is if you were a pitcher, did you get a bat inscribed?
Yes, everyone got a bat inscribed.
That's interesting.
So a few quick things. I mean, Iredale, I got to look. He is a guy with a ton of swing and miss. I'm trying to remember. He might be zone miss, though. He might be the opposite of what they're going for. Good defender at third. They're going to draft Iredale. Iredale had a bad zone whiff. He did not chase. He had good exit velos, launch angle, and barrel. I mean, his barrel percentage at 32% is some of the best in this class. 24.3 K rate. They're going to take Brett Iredale, Peter. That is, he fits. He is the next guy in the Schubert.
There's one of my guys, Zane Taylor, off the board to the Athletics. Another guy that I really like. So the Athletics, I guess, are having one of my more favorite drafts. Let's see what I had in Zane Taylor. Did you have Zane Taylor?
I mean, just very basic stuff. He's an interesting arm, some fun stuff. I wasn't blown away by him.
Yeah, he's let's see where my write-up is here. I'm out of order now. Only 6 foot, so he's small. Another short king. Did have good. Does throw strikes. Doesn't miss a ton of bats, but it's a senior sign. No big secondaries, but the fastball and control are interesting. So yeah, he's older. Someone's senior sign for sure, but he does throw strikes and does have. He did get better every year there. So.
And we had this one.
I had him as a Guardians type. No, it's fine. I had him as a Guardians type. But there goes. You like Coy James?
I did.
You asked me about him a couple times. I thought you asked me about him a couple times.
No. Coy James was interesting and then had a really bad year. He was a first rounder in the fall and fell apart. Did not have a good one. This was the best class for college arms in the last half decade. So I don't think this is the case. I think they decided to go another way. Coy James. Coy James is famous enough that if you bought last year's OOTP, he appeared in it. They had already written him up because he's a known name who's been in the circuit for a while. He had a really rough year, but he was a guy who was supposed to be a top 15 pick in this class. So, I mean, the Nationals are, I guess, buying, some power, and, he was a pretty good athlete, but it was a rough year for him. But they're buying on a guy which traditionally, much like Cleveland, the Nationals kind of, sometimes it feels like they use the board from the fall, not the board everyone else has at the end of June. So The Blue Jays just took a guy from Canada. You don't see that often.
Yeah, the Guardians are usually Team Canada.
Wait, is that right? No, he's from a high school in Canada. Why is this? That can't be right. Is it right? Oh, no, that's right. Okay. Now I see. I just couldn't do maths for a bit.
That's my job, not to be able to do math here, Jeff. Come on. One of us has to be able to do math.
No, we got another catcher off the board. This time, the player from Arizona. I'm a little bit surprised, but a plus defender for the Pirates. It's not a great catcher class. I'm just trying to see if Tim Piatzin was part of that Arizona showcase trip with Will Hines. It looks like he was, so he was part of that team. I can't recall last time Toronto drafted a Canadian player. How does Luke Hill compare to Knapsack, Hawk, Mooney, and other college bats?
There's probably a little bit of Knapsack there, I suppose.
I mean, you take none of those guys were consensus top 100 prospects. None of those guys, had kind of done it at a more neutral stadium. I think he's better than them in terms of college career. You're hoping for more. You don't think a guy here, unless you think there's a chance he can be a starter. I don't think there was ever a thought any of those guys could be a potential starter.
I mean, what was Knapsack? Knapsack was also a 4th round pick, wasn't he?
He wasn't he was like a.
I know he wasn't.
Guy.
I know he wasn't top 100, but he was their 4th round pick. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that might be. I mean, yeah, it sounds about right.
Luke Hill this year, one of his goals this season coming into Ole Miss was he wanted to get more consistent barrels and tap into more power.
He barreled a lot. He did
barrel a lot.
Yeah,
I will say, and if you want to look for
23.5 solid barrels. I don't. If
you want to look for a trend here with this, it's a guy who gets it's pulled air balls. So this is another guy who pulls the ball in the air is what we're talking about, and that's something the Guardians have wanted in the past. And I don't know. I don't want to sit here and dig more onto day one and getting negative again. But the one thing you and I talked about a little
bit out a bit to Texas. I liked him from TCU. He did a lot of things well. Had some health issues. The big Luke Hill did increase his launch angle and his barrel rate this year.
So he did do that,
and he increased his 90th percentile exit velocity by nearly 3 miles per hour, and he kept the elite zone whiff and chase. Okay, Cheeks Malone has us. It was Engel was the 4th that year, Hawk in the 5th, Knapp the 6th.
Yeah. The thing I'm gonna post. Jeff and I did an episode on day 1 of the draft that I'm trying to put together right now. My computer has been giving me some issues today, so I'm trying to put together all the stuff for our recap of day 1. The one thing I think we talked about in that show was, the Guardians go. Did we talk about this on the show, or did we talk about it after the show? The Guardians, like, when they were going in that whole contact, we'll try to teach them to hit for power kind of thing, they went, like, so heavy in that direction, right? Like, it was just everybody they picked was that profile. And now Luke Hill's a little bit different, but now they've reversed course, and now it's like, okay, now you have Schubart, now you have Lavalette. It's like, why can't they diversify their picks? And you made a point to me why that is the case. Like, why?
Oh yeah, well, if you're gonna see if this is kind of I like that pick. Tampa's having a nice draft. James Quinn's irons is huge. He's 6'5", 230. I'll get back to him in a second, but the reason why is you have to have a large enough. You have to have a large enough sample of players to say, hey, this worked, or no, it did not work. So you have to draft multiple. You can't base it on like 2-3 guys. You have to have enough to see if you think that approach has been successful. So they have to actually draft a bunch of similar guys to be able to quantitatively say, okay, this is working, or what about it isn't working. Real quick though, James Quinn's irons had some of the best exit velocity in this class. Small school guy from George Mason. He just turned 22, even though he's a sophomore. He was draft eligible last year. When I took our data sheet and asked ChatGPT to give me a valuation and rank players based purely, I know, but this is where it's actually normally pretty good at, and just rank guys based on batted ball data, only batted ball data, nothing else. Just look at the numbers. It spat out James Quinn's irons is the best player on the sheet. So
there's a lot of tools there.
There's a lot of tools there. So Tampa is just feasting in this draft, and they're going big time power. They're doing it, in my opinion, the right way with Titan Gray and James Quinn's irons and guys like that.
I do love their draft. Yeah,
they have an excellent draft. And there goes I liked Christian Fauch. He did a good job at Arkansas this year, but Matt Barr just went to the Twins.
Of course he did. Neither one of us liked Pierce or Fleming, or Pierce or Summerhill, by the way. So we didn't like their first two picks, but I didn't really have a strong opinion on Cooper Fleming. But Dean Moss, Titan Gray, Dominic Fritton, and James Quinn Irons, you and I both liked quite a bit. So I would say their later picks are good. I don't agree with Pierce and Summerhill, but maybe Summerhill. Summerhill's probably not saving any money, I guess, at this point, because like the way the draft is going. I don't know. I didn't really.
I mean, they got him in the right range, in my opinion. Like they got Summerhill in the
based
right
on
range.
Who was left? Yeah, right. Yeah. Based on who's left, did anybody not take Nick Doomsdale, by the way?
No one's taking him.
Wow, that's quite a fall for him, which I agree with, because I mean, you and I, people were really high on him, and you and I were both like not really feeling that kind of pick.
I was after the Cape. I got to be honest or fair.
Oh, you did warm up to him a little bit?
Because I liked him after the Cape because he did really well in the Cape and had big, loud tools. And I thought, oh, maybe this is a guy taking a step forward. He did not. He went back to a lower level so I don't know if he just stepped up to his level of competition or what, but yeah, he struggled when he was facing a higher level of competition.
Interesting.
I like how you tweeted out 11 minutes ago about them taking Luke Hill, and the official account tweeted it out. They did. We're the first to announce it. I'm sorry, I had it backwards. Kate Snell from Alabama just went to the Cubs. They're taking all names.
I don't think Luke Hill is Clement Ty Freeman. I don't think it's quite there.
No, he's got a much better launch angle than them. That's the problem with both those two is and Freeman actually has good exit velos. It's just he's a dirt killer, or a worm killer.
Yeah, and he also has a very poor approach. He just swings at everything. I don't know what he's doing this year, truthfully, but.
I haven't looked, but when you look at Luke Hill, he's got his launch angle. I'm going to pull up the exact one. I'm trying to get his launch angle is 18.1. That's a good launch angle. That's a solid launch angle.
Yeah, they couldn't get Freeman or Clement. I mean, Clement had zero power in college. Like there was nothing happening there with power. And not that Luke Hill has a ton of power, but I don't think Ernie Clement ever barreled a ball in his entire time.
Luke Hill. Okay, so on the chart I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Luke Hill had the ninth worst exit velo in the class. There's still very low power, but at least he gets in it. There goes Corbin Dickerson, highest rated player on my board, just goes to Seattle.
I'm not shocked. Seattle drafts very well. I like Seattle.
He's a good defender in center field. He has lots of power. He has only played one season of college baseball because he was buried at Louisville. In spite of some of big time exit velos, potential 2020 guy in center field, he's going to be kind of a low on base guy, but that's fun.
Someone asked about Henry Ford still being on there. I think Henry Ford is suffering from. I mean, he wasn't really good this year. But Henry Ford also just being a Virginia hitter. I think people have really soured on Virginia hitters.
Well, he was awful.
Although I will say, he was. What did Ford do this year? I'm gonna look up his numbers. It was not good.
No, he's below Luke Hill for exit velocity.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, he doesn't swing and miss in the zone, but he chases everything.
Yeah.
The problem is he just does not have any good exit velocities and launch angles.
There's nothing strong there.
He doesn't barrel the ball. The only thing Henry Ford does well is he doesn't swing and miss in the zone.
Yeah. No, he had a 102.8 exit velocity. His launch angle is 12.7. His barrel, so when I make a list, I tell it to do percentile data. So if you're in the red, that's bad. It means you're bad. He's in the red on chase, exit velocity, launch angle, barrel rate. He doesn't K a lot, and his BABIP is good, but he's also in the red for WRC plus. He's just bad.
Yeah.
This is the same, most of the same personnel outside of Ethan Purser in their scouting department. They have not had a ton of changeover to the person asking.
No, Ethan Purser is really their own guy. Is the only guy they brought in that's been new recently. They might have had some guys,
but they
left either.
No one's left. The thing with this is, like I said, I've been doing this since 2012. I don't know Jaden Lowry. Another Corona kid. I really did not pay attention to him. They have him listed as a shortstop.
Because Corona just had
no, because this is Corona del Sol. It's not Corona. My bad. It's Corona del Sol.
Is it still California?
No, this one's in Arizona. That's what threw me off. I saw Corona and made an assumption. Cleveland does this though. They go through these spates where they're like, "Oh, we think we found a market inefficiency," and they attack it. Like, for years it was a small pitchers, and it was 17-year-old kids, or it was cold weather bats. And they draft a bunch of guys, and then they see if it works or not. And, they still like to draft smaller pitchers. Like, they feel like that's still an inefficiency to a degree. Other teams have caught up on that, and it's not as big of a thing. But Sean Episcope to the Brewers. There you go. Taking one of your guys.
Okay. The Brewers, I'm telling you, the Brewers every year.
I didn't love last year, but this year, yeah.
Well, you didn't like Braylon Payne, but wasn't it after that? It was a little bit.
No, I didn't like any of theirs last year.
Sorry, coughing live on air, but it's a live stream, so we're good, right? Nobody cares.
Nope. So they do this, though. They do a lot of changes. They do a lot of, shifting it up through the years. That's not a shock. David Gaspar, who's a good Brewers writer, when I wrote up Matt Payne, is like, Barr felt like a Brewers pick because they're spin rate guys. Nick Potter from Wichita State. Houston's going for like guys who just perform well in college. Were not like really talked about too much. I'll tell you what, Episcope is a Chicago, Illinois kid. The Illinois prep scene has been exploding the past few years. It's in a good way. Like, we had a ton of Jack Bauer still isn't drafted. I had someone tell me he may not be draftable. So we'll have to see. Last night when I was doing some phone calls that he's committed to Virginia.
Well, there is that. Here's the other thing I want to talk about too is like Virginia. Like, I had a friend, Jared, text me and was like, is Virginia going to be able to change the narrative on their hitting because their coach left finally? They have a brand new coach.
Yeah, they brought in the Duke coach who's not had any success developing anyone either. Connor Esserberg, one of those many Illinois top prospects we've talked about, a guy who was a top 50 prospect, Lincoln Way West High School, which is that Jack Bauer's high school or is that Faust? I can't remember. That high school had someone else in this draft. Let's see if it mentions it here. Yeah. No, it was not. He faced Bauer and hit a home run off of him. Lincoln Way West High School. That might be where Fauski went, or is that where Appenzeller was? One of the Illinois kids was also there. But another Illinois. That state is doing a really good job developing talent, and he just went to the Braves.
The Braves are having a very different draft. The Braves have also changed kind of their model too this year. It's been a very interesting.
They announced Esserberg as an outfielder. I know some people liked him as a pitcher, so that's interesting too.
Yeah, he's an outfielder. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only reason I hate the adjustment on the pitching profile, someone mentioning, is just because K rates that large have been there. There's no. I just keep stating it. It's like there's been not one guy who's has a 25% K rate who's made it to the majors.
Yeah, it's not great.
Ryan Prager, I mean, I don't know how much he got in NIL money a year ago, but it was a rough year. I mean, everything, and for a guy who popped last year but didn't have great, had some injuries before that and is older, and he'll go somewhere. I just don't know where it's going to be. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to be jumping to get at him. I just think they change their draft style and approach all the time. Like I said, I've been doing this since 2012, and it has shifted so. I remember when it became like, let's go for all contact types. Let's go for players who get because that was the thing. Like, it was contact and ground balls because it was the opposite of their pitcher approach. Because more positive outcomes come when the ball is on the ground than when it's in the air. So it shifts all the time. Does Baseball America have a data plot again this year?
They had released some articles that did have some data plots in it, but they didn't have like a whole like thing on it, which is interesting. I don't have anything on Ryan Hall. Another
North Gwinnett kid. It's a
isn't that where
a lot
Clint Frazier went?
I don't think that's Frazier. I can't remember who was Gwinnett. I can't remember. I could be wrong though. Ty Harvey is such a Padres pick. It's just he's a big, strong catcher, power potential. He's a 19-year-old, which they don't care about. Offense over defense type of guy. He'll be traded within a year. Yeah, there you go. There's your guy to the Phillies. Loading up. The Phillies are drafting a bullpen this year.
Gabe Craig. I really like Gabe Craig. He's 6'5" though. Yeah, Gabe Craig might be a reliever, but I really liked him quite a bit too. Let me see if I can find. I have like I said, I have these way out of order for my board because I just kind of wrote them up as they came in. But yeah, 6'5". So Gabe Craig is a guy that Cleveland might have been interested in before because he was a 3 college guy. So he pitched at a JUCO, Texas A&M, then he finished this year at Baylor. So that's a thing Cleveland has taken in the past. Older, but he struck out 51. Jeff, he walked 3 batters this year. He walked 3 batters all year for Baylor. Mid-90 seat. Interesting life on the fastball, big slider. Probably a closer. I don't think anything else is going on there if you're hoping he's a closer, but thought he'd be a guy who has good setup. Yeah, he didn't walk anybody. It was a very control heavy profile, but again, it's good 90. It's good 90s fastball, and I that was one of the other inefficiencies I think.
Riley Nelson, first baseman from Vanderbilt.
Oh, what is happening here?
Vanderbilt does not. Vanderbilt's been rough.
I didn't update yet, so that's interesting. You saw that.
He is a guy who's transferred a bunch. 3 transfer guy. Hit only 8 home runs this year. Low strikeout. He's a contact first baseman. He is currently playing in the MLB draft league. He has hit 0 home runs in the 100 at-bats in the MLB draft league. A no power at all guy.
It took a no power first baseman?
He was Tim Corbin likened him to Sean Casey. He's limited defensively to first base.
So the Guardians are trading for Dave Burba, is what you're telling me.
This is a weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like not previously drafted, and the only data on him on the broadcast is that he played at other schools.
That was the 162nd pick, right?
Yeah. I think it should be under slot. Yeah, there's just nothing to him. Like, there's a guy who's like, he's big, but there's been no, maybe they think there's something. Maybe they think they can change something. Like this past year, he 36 strikeouts to 34 walks, so a 14% and 13%. He had good BABIP, so quality contact, no power, good contact, good eye at the plate. 100% can't do anything other than play first base.
It's a weird one. I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
I didn't even do a whole lot of work on Riley Nelson.
He never caught my attention once this year.
No, because then just the numbers don't.
And I talked about like a lot of people kind of like Aaron Walton. I had multiple people who like went to Arizona and didn't even bother to take a video of him because they thought he's org filler. So this is their second guy who's kind of, there's some traits and some tools. Walton has really bad exit velos too. Maybe they're looking at these guys.
Someone said Joe Naranjo part 2. Is that
he's
Joe
not Casey
Naranjo
Kochman? No, he's not Kochman or Naranjo because those guys were really strong defenders. That's not what I'm reading here. Like, Kobe Shelton, he was draft eligible a year ago, shortstop from Florida, who just went to the White Sox. They're going for name value. I mean, here's the thing. First baseman, they're kind of bad to draft because there's nowhere for them to go, right? Like if you're an outfielder and you're, there's always a chance you can move to another position. If you're first base, you have nowhere you can move to. If you're already a first baseman, that speaks volumes. And when you're looking at a guy like this, who, I mean, I'm hoping I'll get some data for eventually. I just DM my guy, but he's playing in, he's bounced around a lot. Matt Klein just went to the Rockies, the catcher we liked.
No.
It's just like,
I'm telling you, the Rockies low-key have taken some really interesting players the last couple of years that I like. Doesn't mean that they're good. It just means I like them. I'm not saying
and let's be very honest. The reason Sean Casey keeps coming up is because there's like no info on him. This is not a guy people were really even looking at that heavily. And his college coach compared him. And, college coaches always will give you a comp that is of a very good player. Just to go back to when we're doing some work here, some questions. Oh, well, we missed quite a few little things in here. So I'm just going to kind of scroll us back. It looks like we had so we had this one here. So I guess the problem is I don't remember the 2014 Browns and 2012 Seahawks. So feeling dangerous. I wish I could give you a good answer, but I'm assuming the Browns 14 was terrible and the Seahawks is good. I mean, I can't properly judge it because, there is timeout. You got to see what's going to occur. Right now, it's probably my least favorite draft they've had since I've been covering. I just got to be real honest. This is when I do a redraft, I don't know if I'm going to keep any picks. This is the least favorite draft I've seen from them. The thing with Michael Aubrey is he actually had some pop. Like he was more of a on base.
Michael Aubrey really just struggled because he
got hurt.
He had the back injury.
Yeah, it was the back injury, but there was some power in that one. I don't see a lot of power in there. Oh, I'm sorry. He's right. It was the summer ball. It was so before he went to Vandy, he was in the MLB draft when I had that wrong. You're right. I misread numbers there, but he had no home runs in the whole time in that season. I don't know. Like here's the thing. They're always changing, evolving. Joey Vellini just went to Miami. Miami, I don't think has taken one prep player yet. Second Florida State guy for them. They're always evolving and changing. I do think it's a savings pick. 100%. It is. Yeah. I have nothing like that.
The Vanderbilt first baseman.
Yeah. No, just the draft in general. It is the most surprising draft. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's moving pretty quick, I will say. Oh, Joey, didn't you like Joey Vellini a little bit? He went to the Marlins.
Yeah, I just said that.
I thought you. Oh, did you? Okay, sorry. I'm still doing work.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I dipped into that one. Who's a pitcher left on your board? Well, I should update the ticker is what I'm seeing down here. You can see I don't have any pitchers I really like left.
We don't have a producer. It's just all us.
Yeah, it's all us.
Guys, by the way.
So I don't really have too many. I'm trying to think like what college guys I even really like at this point. There isn't a lot, and there's no one I would say quick trajectory. That's just always going to be because let's be honest, like a lot of the quick trajectory these guys have taken have not worked out. Grant Richardson's a fun pick to the Oakland A's there.
Is that a guy? No, Grand Canyon. There was somebody from Grand Canyon I wrote up, but I don't think it's Grant Richardson. Grand Canyon who did they have last year? They had somebody I really liked.
They've always had a few guys. I mean, that's where Jacob Wilson was.
He was that. There was that pitcher last year from Grand Canyon I was really interested in, and I can't remember where he went. Who's the Grand Canyon player I wrote up this year? I wrote up somebody up, but it definitely wasn't this guy. Which tells you I'm nowhere near the level of Jeff on any of this.
2014 was the Johnny Football one. I don't think it's that level, but it's that was an awful draft because it wasn't just football. I mean, Gilbert was out of football in a few years too. But
Jeff, you know who's still left that they'll pick at this point? Maybe it'll be Eric Snow.
I mean, it depends. Like we talked about Eric Snow, Iredale. They got some guys who fit their old approach and their new approach. Oh, and then here, someone mentioned Gilbert after I said that. Yeah.
Grand Canyon, the guy I wrote up was Isaac Lyon. He's a side armor, by the way. So we'll see if that happens.
One of my favorites just went off the board. Boston Smith to Washington Nationals.
Oh yeah, your guy from Wright State. Yeah. All right, Dayton, Ohio, represent over here. That's a good question by David. Does work ethic, determination play a larger percentage than what we give it credit for? I mean, it's hard to quantify that, right? But we do know Cleveland is very focused on spending a lot of time getting to know these guys and whether their drive to play, And I will say this, like, there were a lot of high character marks for Jace Lavalette. Like, people are saying good teammate, very wants to win. Like, people really like him.
I mean, same with everyone. Basically, they've taken that's a big part.
It is,
and they're not going to take Eric Snow because Toronto just took him.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, Eric Snow doesn't have any power, so
he's Ernie Clement Part 2.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, no, but the makeup is really important for Cleveland. Like, it's important for everybody, but it's just one of those things that Cleveland has put a lot into because
I think they got burned, and that's the big thing with Cleveland too. Yeah. If you look at it, I'll spill the tea. I almost want to listen to the Boston Smith one, but I'm not gonna risk us getting in trouble by having background noise. So to spill the tea here, it's like Ethan Hankins was a handful here. Like Ethan Hankins soured them to a degree. There's things we can't talk about in terms of Ethan Hankins.
You said you were going to spill the tea, though. You just said you were going to spill it, and you're like, actually.
Well, I'm spilling by saying who the players were. I'm not going to get into situations about because I don't want to sit back and be like supposedly, hey, Jack Anchor to the Pirates, nice run here.
No,
but
stop it.
He had conflicts with teammates and coaches. Let's put it that way. And then you have Carson Tucker, who didn't have conflicts, but just didn't care and kind of quit and never came back.
Yeah.
And like that, now they're very focused on not landing. And Francisco Mejia, before them, I never heard as many negative reports about a guy who just
the worst.
Would, again, conversations with teammates, conversations with coaches, refusing to listen.
He didn't go as far as Ethan Hankins went, but
he didn't with the confrontations. No. And then there's I remember being told a story about Trey Haley, a kid asking for an autograph, and instead him telling that kid to F off. They've had this series of guys. There's things.
Trey Haley Trey Haley was supposed to also get promoted from Lake County to Lynchburg, or I think it might have been Carolina at the time, the Carolina Mudcats. And he went out and was telling everybody he was getting promoted, and the Indians at the time got mad, and they delayed his promotion a couple of days.
Same thing happened with Mejia.
Yeah. I will say there were some good things I heard about Mejia.
He improved a lot in maturity, but man, those early years were rough.
They were. I had a friend who drove him to the airport or something, and they drove past the the stadium, and he looked at the stadium when they were driving by. He's like, Cleveland Guardians, want to play for them my entire career. Like, you know, he really liked it.
Yeah. If it's this team, I gotta be real honest. It's like it's probably Dean Curley. Dean Curley is the only player right now who the value matches where he was taken.
I don't know. I like Will Hines quite a bit personally,
but he wasn't in your top 100, and they took him where they took him. So it's not about the value. Like if it's value, it'd be Curley because Curley was 35 on your board, and they took him in the 50s.
Yeah, I did have Curley 35. You're right.
Here's
Jack Anchor. Here's what I had on Jack Anchor. 6'2" control specialist in Fresno State. Change up or curve, best secondary, low 90s. Probably needs to get in the upper band of his velo. Good strike throwing. I compared him kind of like Eli Morgan, but I think he's like a starter swingman type.
Another Illinois high school kid just went off the board. A 6'5" third baseman. I don't know Wheeler. Jack Wheeler, who went to Texas. Prep player is a high school.
What's going on in Illinois right now?
Yeah. Got a prep equals high school. That's just a baseball terminology. I don't know why. I guess because they used to go to prep schools, maybe.
That's a good question. I don't really know.
Yeah. So I'm going to say disability. Let's just say that Hankins had a lot of moments, a lot of moments, and
he wasn't the only one. Hankins.
I was trying to think. I mean, they let go a lot of the guys recently who last 2 years who had
character issues.
Yeah, and then they've avoided that type like the plague. I mean, really, the guy left who's had the most negative comments over the years is Khalil Watson.
Yeah, there was a weird story that I had heard just recently about Khalil Watson that I don't want to care about.
Yeah, it still looks like there's a lack of maturity. Here's the thing: he was a hyper competitive kid in high school who was it spilled over. Like I think we've all known that person who's too competitive. And we're like, hey, calm down. So he's a hyper competitive kid that occasionally got him in trouble.
Yeah, the Khalil Watson thing, like I think he got a bad name in high school because I listened to an interview with him and I listened to some people who knew him, and like this is a race issue, to be honest with you, with Khalil Watson. He went to a school in high school where he was in a very I'm just gonna be honest, he was in a white neighborhood, and he thought and he knew people told him like just being black, unfortunately, that people were going to be, scared of him. So he had to, try to change who he was to try to like.
He also was a lot like, reports at the time were that he was like very hard on teammates, that he was like, we know that guy that when we're playing a game, it doesn't matter the race. It's just like, if they're really big, it can be annoying. Like if they're always shouting, it's like, it doesn't, I mean, I'm not saying there was not some potential race thing sides of it, but like, the reports I got from him in high school were that, it's just like he is a lot.
Yeah. I mean, he did have the minor league incident with the Marlins that did happen. And yes. I don't think Cleveland would have taken him if they thought that the maturity hadn't changed a little bit. And I heard much better things about him when he got to Cleveland, I will say. And he's been very coachable. Like Khalil Watson embraced the move to center field. He's done some positive things offensively. Like he's changed his approach, not approach a little bit, but I guess he's changed his approach a little bit. He still swings and misses a lot, but he's changed a little bit of who he is as a hitter. He's not hitting the ball in the air as much as he used to, which actually is a good thing for him because he was getting the ball in the air so much that he just didn't have anything else going on. Like he just couldn't hit line drives. He was so focused on getting the ball in the air. So he's hitting more line drives, which has been good for him. He just said something the other day about the Guardians and the fact they haven't called anybody up recently, like prospects, and he didn't really love. He was noticing he didn't really love how that was going, and thought that was going to be something.
I just think
a problem for his career.
If you're going to make comments that can be construed as negative about your team, you shouldn't do that in public. Like that's just a lack of maturity, which has been kind of that issue. I think he's a really exciting, really fun player. I think he has really improved this year.
Andrew,
I think he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's always going to be that guy who's going to show a ton. Hey, one of your favorites to the Twins, Bruno Biani.
Oh, Bruin Agbayani's a lot of. Oh, Leighton Finley from Georgia. I liked him last year. Andrew was saying about Will Hines about throwing 100. He's not going to throw 100.
No, he's only
6'2". Yeah. No, I don't know. Someone asked earlier, does he have a big enough wagon? I said I don't know. I haven't really seen his.
No,
butt.
He doesn't. He's not a big wagon guy.
No, he's he's not going to throw 100. He throws 92, 93 now. He'll probably, if they're lucky when he fills out, he doesn't have much room to fill out, but there is some physical projection there. We're probably talking like 95.
Yeah. As Jake points out, Watson's, they got some interesting Rule 5 choices. We'll have to sit down at some point, and kind of go through, but there's quite a few guys. This is going to be a big Rule 5 year, so they're going to have to cut some fat because there's actually I'd say there's 4 or 5 interesting Rule 5 players this year. No, I mean, here's the thing. They talk with players about like media things, and but they also expect just some common sense, and you always have to be smart. And you have
that was a weird thing. Yeah.
So Justin and I had a big debate back and forth, and I'm just, for me, it was just the thing where it's like, it's a general rule. Anyone who works for a business, you don't want to badmouth them if it could give back to them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like anybody you work for. Yeah.
No, I was wrong. It's even more than that, because in my mind, I'm like, oh, just naturally, we're going to add Lada, Messick, and Peterson before the year is done. The other 3 I knew, but I already had pre-added 3 of those players, as Jake pointed out. Let me click on that so people can see. Hey, that's the upside. It means it was a good draft that, you're adding all of those college players outside of Watson from the same draft.
Yeah, and all those guys. Well, DeLucia. Oh. I like DeLucia, but like
I think you got to add him with what you've shown this year. I think you have to.
Yeah, I do too. You're right. Yeah.
If you did not know, Bruin Agbayani, yes, he is the son
of Benny. Met.
We thought that UCLA is kind of hard to get guys. No, he's not UCLA. I keep wanting to say UCLA. That's
Michigan.
He's Michigan. We thought he'd be, because his name's Bruin. I kept wanting to say UCLA. But hey, Josiah Hartshorn. That's a fun one by the Cubs. He had some good data at the combine. He does a lot of things really well.
Wow, the Captains are going to have a Darius Garland All-Star softball game. So now it's not just NFL. Now we're expanding the NBA. I'd be curious to see who Darius Garland brings with him, unless he gets traded first.
Okay, so let me go down.
Trade at this point.
Luke Hill is a good value where they got him. Riley, the first baseman, was kind of like a.
That's also one of my least favorite picks. Like, I just take
Riley,
the guy
he doesn't make any sense. Side note, apparently, was it Jaden Fauske?
Did he go somewhere?
No, he played with Jim Tomey's kid.
Oh,
I didn't realize that because I just saw Jim Tomey's wife tweeting about how excited she is that.
That's cool.
That Landon's baseball teammate and brother will go to the White Sox. So that's kind of a fun little.
The Guardians. If the Guardians don't draft Landon Tomey, then I'm quitting doing this. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, no, they. So Hill is a good value. I don't understand at all the Vanderbilt first base only guy. It's got to be massively under slot. I don't really have a better answer than that. And then, yeah, and that's right. It's only been 2 picks so far. It's like, who am I forgetting? But it's only been 2 picks. But yeah, it's Sawyer Hawks. That's a solid pick by.
I wrote him up. I like Sawyer Hawks.
Arizona's having a good draft too.
Sawyer Hawks from Vanderbilt, right? Reliever, transferred from Air Force. Big fastball into the mid-90s. Good changeup. Couple decent breaking
He's
pitches.
A senior. He used to be a quick mover.
He had better control this year. So if that's a new thing, he didn't have good control before this year. If this new control for him is better, then that could make him a fast-moving reliever. And I said mid-day 2 pick. I don't know if we're quite mid-day 2, but by the way, Jeff, the Grand Canyon guy I wrote up, Isaac Lyon. He is the son of Brandon Lyon.
I don't know who that is.
Brandon Lyon, he was a closer. He pitched for the, I want to say the Cardinals, and
was he like a flameout guy? Like it was just a few years and then it went bad.
I think he was around for a while.
Okay. Maybe I'm having a blank out moment. I mean, here's the problem. Like, what would you actually get? And then you kind of need him to be successful here. Like you need the cost control players is how this team's going to survive. So you kind of need to you would need him. No, I just think it's a change in approach. I don't think so. Even though these are all nice additions to their org, I think, they just have the natural look of it. This is just, they decided that they found an inefficiency and want to run with it. So
who took Sawyer Hawks?
Arizona. There's always a lot of 40-man ones. See, the thing with Kafus, I'll say though, is like, so, I clicked it twice. Kafus is Daniel Dickinson. Some people thought he would be a first rounder to start this year after he transferred into LSU.
There's zero juice in that profile.
But he's going to the Brewers. I didn't like Kafus, but Kafus had natural power. He was a good defender at first. That's why he could play some outfield. Riley Nelson he's first base only, no power at all. And
yeah, that's one of my least. I gotta be honest. Like I feel like I like Jace Laviolette. I like Jace Laviolette better just because like at least there's something there where you're like, okay, well, if it works out, there's a great player here. Riley Nelson, like, what are you trying to get out of that? Like it is literally, I don't know. I mean, Sean Casey was from a different era. Like I don't even want to think about that now because it's just
Sean Casey still had some pop. Like it's a comp we get when we're like, oh, a first baseman is going to hit for average, not power. Sean Casey had 25, 20, 13, and he was hurt. 14 and 20. Like Sean Casey was good for 20 home runs a year. Yes, he had 8 this year at Vanderbilt, but like it's a bad ISO in the draft league. He didn't hit any home runs. Yeah, I just don't get it.
Oh yeah, sorry, not yet.
And Houston takes another like money saver. I don't know what Houston's doing. Like they've gone money saver. I unless they're gonna pop someone like in the 9th or 10th round who's big money. And we do have a lot of interesting prep pitchers.
By the way,
if you look at my little scrolling board, it's all the top 3 guys are prep pitchers.
Yeah. Did we talk about Daniel Dickinson and the fact that he was terrible on the Cape? By the way, like he was terrible.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So I appreciate everything Joe Doyle does. But at the start of the year, I think it was Joe who had him to Cleveland in their mock. And I just kind of very politely said, they value the Cape too much.
Here's a good question. Well, I mean, they haven't really ignored Cape.
They haven't leaned into it at all this year, though.
Yeah.
The Cape has not been a team in the draft for the first time, like ever.
The guys they took
didn't play in the Cape.
Play there.
Yeah.
Right. They didn't even play there. So, like.
Yeah, hey, there we go. That's an interesting one for Atlanta. Landon,
Beschneedles. Vital Shees,
who was at Ohio State, transferred there.
Zero control.
No control. Great stuff. But like, they were hoping he'd be a starter. He got moved to the pen. This is just a traits draft pick for them if they can straighten him out.
Which I get.
Overslot and underslot. How does that work? So you have so much money you can spend on the draft based on where your picks lie. Every pick gets a slot, and you can spend up to 1 penny less than 5%. And if you go over 5% more than your draft position, you lose your first rounder next year. And Cleveland always goes right up to the thing. And the other thing to point out though is some teams just stop at slot because for every dollar you spend over slot, it costs you twice as much. So Cleveland uses all of that and it doubles. So that means every dollar they pay a player, they then have to pay the league. So they always go over and they always pay that penalty.
Good for Landon Bealsheeds, though, by the way, because he's also a Canton, Ohio kid. Canfield, I should say Canfield. I guess Canfield's close enough to Canton, right?
Hey, one of my best friends from Ohio was a Canfield kid who came over to Copley when I was in school there. Still talk with him. He lives out in Wisconsin with me. I don't really have. Someone asked about Tyler Petterini. He's currently in the MLB draft league. He's been okay there. I don't see him getting drafted. I know he's a kid from Worcester. No one from Ohio State really has too high. He's turning 23 this year. Struck out more than he walked, which is kind of one of those things where it's the only reason it's a big deal is because there's not much power in that profile and there's not much going with it. So I don't see him getting, Caden Kern was a fantastic prospect a year ago. He's a day 3 guy. Ohio State just right now, I know they're starting to get recruits and are improving. It's just not a good program. Like it's the 5th best program in the state.
Jeff, this is great. You're going to love this. So I tweeted out about Bruin Agbayani a little bit ago, just like saying I liked as a mix of abilities and tools, and he's Benny's son. And I got a response from an AI chat bot or thing saying, discover the power of AI. Submit your tool to be featured on the website. And they responded and said, sounds like Bruin's got the whole package. Just wait till he starts juggling while scoring touchdowns.
Sounds about right. Grayson Gristle of Oregon, another Big Ten guy, just went to Detroit. That should cost them slot here. I still don't know what Detroit's doing. Like they have saved so much money and they haven't done anything with it yet.
Did you talk about Jake's thing about Riley Nelson and Cephas? Cephas had more power in college.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, a lot more power, and he's a better athlete.
Yeah, Cephas can play outfield. I don't want to say he's a good outfield.
And Campfield is more Youngstown. They're right. It is more Youngstown.
It is Youngstown. Okay. Whereas I don't think there's any chance Riley Nelson's playing the outfield. There's not a lot of athleticism there, right?
No, at least not from what I saw. When MLB's write-up says you are first base only, they were very quick to say that,
because they're generally very
yes,
they're generous about how they describe guys. Yeah, so not ideal.
2 away.
Yeah, Grayson Grinsden, I like him.
Yeah, he's a fun. But again, guy. Detroit, this is kind of the right range. I just don't know what they save so much money early. I'm like, who are they going to come and get Appenzeller in the 10th? It's I'm waiting to see. Them and Houston are saving money, and as you can see, my big board is 5 players right now. So it's
I should text our Detroit guys and see what they're thinking. I think they're streaming live today too. They were streaming live last night too.
Cleveland is on the clock. Oh, my draft tracker hasn't updated for Philly yet.
Yes, Cleveland. Oh, James Talon from Duke. So that's one of our buddies over there. Not him, but the
Brian Skowski. Talon.
Oh no, James Talon just went to Philadelphia.
Philadelphia,
not Cleveland. No, one of our buddies who's the org scout is Duke is his area.
Yeah. Oh, okay. As I say, Brian Skowski, who was on the show with me, I think twice, old friend of mine, is at Duke now.
Yes, he is at Duke. I don't know who James Talon is. I'm gonna be honest. He's a 4-year junior, so he's a senior signed for.
He's a 6'5" lefty, though.
Yeah. By the way, did you notice last night they took Will Hines? Will Hines was born in 2007. It's the year I graduated high school. I already graduated high school.
Nelson
Keough.
This is Oregon State's ace this year. So obviously they saw him a lot last year. It's a good delivery. I mean, it's a back end starter profile. He might start, he might work out of the bullpen. He's been back and forth. He's a big strike thrower, left-handed pitcher. I was gonna pull up data on him. Let me just throw out the quick tweet. Has touched upper 90s as a lefty. He's a big kid. Excuse me. Sorry, everyone. Got that on there.
All right. Good thing this is a live stream. Yeah.
I'm doing fizzy water.
So. Really lack of control for a guy that they normally like. Like the control is.
So his 25 data doesn't have any greens. And it's all reds because he had a bad FIP. He had bad control. Didn't get chases. So it's traits over production right now. it's an interesting player. I'm fine with it. It's a good value here. Yeah, it's a developmental pick. I mean, they all are, so that's probably a dumb statement.
Just interesting. Like, so we saw yesterday they broke type with hitters. This is kind of the first time they've broken type with pitchers now, is that they're taking a guy who doesn't necessarily exceed in control, and they're not trying, because what they've been successful with has been guys who throw a lot of strikes and help them throw harder. Kello throws decently hard already, but doesn't know where the ball is going.
Yeah. No, it's in Oregon State used to be kind of known for pitching, but they haven't done. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think I knew that.
I mean, they had a guy last year. Like, remember it was who's the kid that went to
Aiden May.
Aiden May. I really liked Aiden May. Who did he
but
go
they,
to?
They're not consistent with their production of pitchers.
Yeah, Aiden. I wonder how. I have to look up, see how Aiden May's doing this year.
But really yeah, this is it's a good value here. There's no two ways around it. This is a good value at this selection. It is tools and traits. There's some growth potential here, and you're looking at the fact that like he's got some nasty stuff for a lefty. He's got velocity. He's got deception. He's got a solid change, which is kind of the pitch you want anymore as a secondary offering. If his slider develops, he's a starter. If it doesn't, he is a reliever.
Well, here's the problem, though. Even the slider, but like he's got to throw strikes too. Like,
okay, I just got a DM from Aria Gershon, a great reporter at Vandy, who says that Nelson has decent exit velocities, but he takes a very much a hit first approach and doesn't try to hit for power. I think he could have average power if he changes approach to emphasize and trade off.
Here's the question, though. Is he going to have average power, or is he going to have average power for a first baseman? Because those are two different things. Average power for first base has to be a lot higher. Like, you're talking at least average power from first baseman, you have to at least get to 20 home runs, if not more. Average power is different for different positions. Like average power for a shortstop is like 15 homers, but for a first baseman, it might be 25. So like you have to also account for position too, and what's average there.
Here's the thing with Summerhill. So I'm just gonna
because I will say I like Kello's stuff. Like he's interesting.
Yeah,
like
he's fun.
If they can, I don't know if they'll. Is this a case where a guy had a better junior year and they like that a little more? Like,
I mean, he's always been kind of a mess.
He had a 7% walk rate last year, though.
Or is it sometimes? I'm just trying to make sure I spell his name correctly here, so I can. So is it a situation too? What we've seen sometimes is I wonder too if his stuff jumped a little, and sometimes it's after that happens they struggle a bit more with that. Now he also last year only started 3 games. The other big thing is I think that's more the issue is he's a reliever last year and he moved into the starter role and struggled. So I think it's just more moving from the relief role and having to come out and throw your 2 pitches for 1 inning versus, being a starter. We see a guy who really struggled in that transition to starter. And, in the 6th round, if it doesn't work out and he's just a lefty reliever in the future, that's not bad value either. So, but yeah, another guy who had a better sophomore and junior year, but it was also a role change that affected him there. So let's see.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, because I mean, I did want to point out, like, just the fact that he was a little better last year in Cleveland. Yes, org fillers are still a thing, David. They still have org fillers. Those guys still exist. Like Johnny Tincher, who's the backup catcher for Lake County, he's a future coach. He's an org filler guy. They still have to have pitchers. Catchers and pitchers are always org fillers. Like, you have to have org filler pitchers. Here, I'm going to get in trouble for saying this on the air. Here's another thing I don't like, Jeff. There is some scout talk that's concerned. This is just scouts talk, nothing confirmed. That after the next CBA, the draft could be down from 20 rounds.
Yes, I think it will be.
And if that happens, you can also conflate that to cutting the minor leagues down
100%.
another level.
The goal is to cut the minor leagues down another level.
The next CBA, you could see the draft reduced by 5 rounds to 15, and you could see like low A cut, and it could just be high A through triple A. That would reduce your need for org filler because you need less arms. But right now, you need arms in Arizona. You need arms in Lynchburg. You need enough arms to get through games in Akron and Lake County and Columbus. So our org filler is still a thing. Like some guys, unfortunately, get drafted and fill into org fillers. Like right now, like Alonzo Richardson's an org filler now. He wasn't a draft pick. Tanner Burns at this point is an org filler, although I wonder after the draft if Tanner Burns is on number of borrowed time.
So I just want to go back in to hear about this comment made by him. I also want to point out Cleveland just lost their hitting coach, Jason Esposito, to Vanderbilt. So
yes,
they probably have even more intel on the first baseman.
Well, he's only been there for a little bit. It's not like he's.
I know, but they're still talking. Like, I'm sure they could text him and he would let them know. And he is the third college first baseman drafted. Like he is. That's how few.
Which is such a weird. Baseman. That's a weird profile. Like college first baseman is a weird profile.
Yeah. So, and again, I recommend Aria Gershon. She's got great content from Vanderbilt. She's got more on there. If you want to read more about why I could be wrong, honestly, because I have not spent a ton of time on Nelson. That's I could very easily be wrong. There's a lot of fun traits and stuff in there. So it talks about how right now my Twitter has just been a disaster on my older computer, so I'm just kind of waiting so I can update, see what else, some of her other statements. Yeah, I can't get the load, so I would go recommend checking her out a lot. For content, that sounds filthy when I put it that way.
Vanderbilt content. I just saw somebody that said Kelho lost his starting role this year, end of the year as a reliever.
Yeah, he was. Yes, that's true. He only had 3 starts as a sophomore. He had like 12 or 13. It got bad, and he was out. So I mean, he was very good as a reliever. So it's like if you got a lefty reliever with a killer changeup who throws upper 90s, that's a great value in the 6th round. Like there's a chance he starts. I don't want to just say he's a reliever, but like. What's also with this team and Nelson, we had Nelson, Keljo, and Riley Nelson. We've had a lot of Nelson.
I really want to know how to pronounce that name. Is it Keljo, Kel? Yeah. I wonder if anybody can find the pronunciation. It might be on the Oregon State website or something. I don't know.
I mean, you just pop the Keljo on the draft conference call. What I always do is I just type into Google and then find someone talking about them in a YouTube video. It's from the university. That's my approach. Round 7 coming up. Highest bonus values, average bonus value for this round is close to 300,000. I forgot to do this. People kind of dug it since we got a little bit of a downtime. Who's a recent 7th rounder for Cleveland? Who'd they take last year? It doesn't matter. I'll do it this way. The 6th round, I think, is actually Cleveland's magic round in the draft, or is it the 5th? I have to double check.
I think it's the 5th, because 5th was Tanner and
Bieber, right? Weren't they both 5th rounders?
I thought Bieber was a 3rd, but I could be wrong.
No, he was not a 3rd. He was a 4th rounder. So we'll split the difference between us. Wait. The draft is stopping?
They're taking a break, yeah.
For an hour? No, for 2 minutes.
No, for 2 minutes.
Because I'm thrown off by my time.
You're an hour behind, yeah.
I got an hour. I'm going to go play Spider-Man on the PS5. I'll see you guys in an hour. I missed everything.
Yeah. Don't leave me here on my own, Jeff. I'm running out of guys that I know about. I don't go as deep as you, so I'm running out of guys.
I didn't do the third round yesterday because I ran out of time, so we got some downtime. The best third round picks in franchise history. Do you know who the best third round pick is in franchise history? Anyone in chat? Does anyone have this without cheating? Come on, where's our old timers?
Oh God, it's that old. I don't know. Don't ask me.
A man who we lost due to Rick Manning not being able to keep it in his pants. Dennis Eckersley.
Huh? Oh,
Eckersley is the best third rounder all time. 62 career WAR. Number 2, Alan Ashby, who was a catcher.
That's Andy's brother, right?
No, this is Alan. Andy. This is their dad, if it's anything. Alan Ashby.
Oh, it's their dad. Okay.
This is a catcher from 69. Aaron Savale is the third highest.
Oh, yeah.
Right now. 4 is Jerry DiPoto.
Can we calculate Jerry DiPoto, the Mariners GM? Can we count Kyle Manzardo and Aaron Savale's award?
No. 5 is Chad OJ. 6, John Nunnally. 7, I had to race through because you're going to have a fun time, Ryan Garco. 8,
Ryan Garco!
8, Richie
100%.
Palacios. Didn't expect him to be there. 9, Jensen Lewis. 10, Tony Wolters. And then no one else. Mark Matthias would be 11. So that's our third rounders. I got to catch up. 4th round, highest WAR is Doug Drabeck, who they didn't sign, so that doesn't count. Then Shane Bieber, Paul Bird, Ernie Clement is 3. 4, Danny Graves.
Did they sign Paul Bird? Because remember, he didn't come. Oh
no, but they traded. He didn't play. He didn't come up with them. I think they actually cut him, and then eventually he figured out elsewhere.
Really? Because he came back to them in 07.
Yes. Yeah, and then they traded him to be able to sign all those guys that didn't work out the one year. 5th is Rudy Saenz, who was a reliever. 6th is Sam Henches, all time. 7th is Jeff Baker. 8 is Jesse Levis. 9 is Kyle Crockett. And 10 is TJ McFarland. Which
Crockpot.
The funny thing is because Crockpot didn't pitch as long, so his value didn't go down. Where McFarland is still pitching. 11 is Jordan Brown, who barely got a cup of coffee. So 5th round, I'm going to power through this before we get through. Steve Kwan, then Chris Archer, then Tanner Bybee is 3. 4 is Ryan Drees. 5 is Zach Putnam. 6 is Ben Francisco. 7 is Hunter Gaddis, so he'll move up. 8, Alan Embry. 9, Rod Nichols. 10, Tom Kramer. And 11, a guy I always kind of liked is Connor Capel.
Connor Capel, I don't know if he's still in the majors, but he was around for a little bit. Let's see if anybody here in trivia knows Ryan Drees. What is Ryan Drees' best contribution to the Cleveland organization? Let's see. Don't spoil it if you know it.
It's who he's traded for.
Exactly. Let's see if anybody in the chat knows who he was traded for.
Yeah. While they do that, I'll say they didn't have a wife swap, though Cleveland did get one of the New York family swap players.
That was a New York thing. New York thing.
But no, Manning hurt his back. Dennis Eckersley was his best friend, took him in while he had surgery, and Manning slept with Eckersley's wife, married her, divorced her, and married who he's with now. So they had to then trade one of them, and they chose to keep Manning. So that's that story. Multiple people have guessed Hafner in the chat.
There we go. That was an easy one. That wasn't really hard.
The 6th round is a disaster show because they don't even. So if I just want to talk about guys they've signed who hit the big leagues, here's your list. Joey Wendell 1, Kevin Kuzmanoff 2, both traded away. 3, Greg Allen traded away. 4, Paul Rigdon. 5, Eric Wilkins. 6, Jeff Morinoko. And that's it. No one else has made it to the big leagues from the 6th round on that list that they actually drafted and signed. So 6th is really bad for them. And now we enter the 7th. Top 10 guys in the 7th round. This is their killer round. This is the one that they've done really well in historically.
By the way, the draft has started back up.
I know, but it's we're not going to know most of these guys. I mean, DePino, we kind of talked about earlier. He's an a high school.
Antoine Jean. I do like Antoine Jean a little bit. He just got. I do like Antoine Jean a little bit.
So the 7th round, number 1, Von Hayes, number 2, David Bell, number 3, Larry Anderson, number 4, Russell Brandon, number 5, Greg McMichael, number 6, Eric Haas, number 7, Pep Harris, number 8, Nathan Lukes, number 9, Xavier Curry, and number 10 is Cody Morris.
I do love Cody Morris.
Antoine Jean is a 4-year graduate. He's a Canadian kid, so he's a senior already. Someone also pointed out recently, one of the comments, you were talking about a left-handed reliever who pitched in extras at some point, and they're like, it was Kurt McCarty.
Yes.
He is also a 7th rounder, so bringing him up.
Yeah.
So this is one of their best rounds in the draft. Highest bonus in the 7th round, that was Alex Mooney, $1 million.
Yeah. For anybody who's watching live with us right now, I did just finally release the episode Jeff and I recorded last night on day 1 of the draft. So that is out on YouTube, and it will be out on audio here in a little bit. So if you can't tune in all day and you want to, if you can't be here live all day and you want to check out the audio, that's all there from last night's day 1. Yeah, Xavier Curry, best man. He was at our wedding, not at our wedding, but he was taking pictures with us as he was going into the stadium. Unfortunately for Xavier Curry, I'm sure it's fine, but he's now pitching in the Mexican League. He's out of affiliated ball.
I was kind of surprised. He had that nice run in 23, right? Yeah.
Traded for Aaron Mayette. Oof, Aaron Mayette, that's a rough one.
Well, wasn't Aaron Mayette because Ryan Drees, I can't remember, it was Drees plus something else. We got Mayette and Hafner. That's what he's referencing. That
Enar Diaz was the other player
Diaz,
that went to the Texas. Yes, Enar Diaz.
My friend Tom is one of our everydayers. Has an Enar Diaz home run ball that he caught that he has like on his back shelf behind him in his office.
That's so valuable.
Isn't that? It's pretty. I've never caught a home run ball, so I mean, I'm just jealous in that regard. I haven't even caught a foul ball. And now I'm at the age where if I caught one, I couldn't keep it. I'd have to give it to whatever. I mean, if I had my own kid, I could give it to them.
Yeah, you have your own kid. It's fine.
And then, okay, so I got more on Nelson from Aria. I've heard certain teams loved him and others only wanted to offer him after the 10th round, where I don't think he would have signed. So he was either loved or meh, and he's a plus makeup guy too.
I want people to fear how much they love me. Is that what we're talking about here?
I don't know the reference.
That's an Office reference.
Oh, I've never watched an episode of The Office.
Did someone take Matthew Fisher yesterday? I'm sure they did.
I don't recall. Matthew Fisher?
Yeah.
No, he is not gone because he's still on my board. You can see I've been updating. I've only got 5 guys left. I'm sure people are tired of reading those 5 guys, but
where is Fisher? I have Fisher on my board somewhere.
He is. Well, Indiana has a pretty ugly history. Hey, Oakland just went Logan Suave from West Virginia, the catcher.
There is no Oakland, Jeff. Oakland no longer exists.
Oakland took of the catchers, I kind of liked him. Like he's a guy who just does a bit of everything. Like when people
Thanks for tuning in, Pat.
Yes, thanks for coming in, Pat, at one of our everydayers. Like he's a guy who I think he's going to be at least a backup. There's an outside chance for a starter. So like I mean I have my kid, so I can give the ball to my kid. But like if I went to a game now and I caught a ball, I'd be like, oh, okay, here you go. Like I can't. I'm too old. Like I would look like such a jerk. Like home run ball. I don't want to be those guys. To be like the lowest of the low are those home run ball chasers. Like that's if anyone likes or follows them, I'm sorry, but I think that's as bad as it gets in terms of baseball media. Them and that Marlins man are the ones that just seem to be the ones who make baseball about them instead of. But that's a rant for a different day.
Here's a throwback to last year's draft. The Daniel Egan last year, who was that Grand Canyon Daniel Egan or no? He was
he was Presbyterian.
Yeah, he was the Northwest League Player of the Week this week for Arizona.
You liked him a lot. I mean, I liked him as well, but he was more your guy than mine.
Let me see. I'm gonna see. By the way, you brought up Jordan Brown. Jordan Brown had two. There's 2 Jordan Browns. The Cleveland has had 2 Jordan Browns.
Yeah, I was talking first baseman, not infielder. So when I first started covering this team in 2007, Jordan Brown was like a top 5 prospect. It was really bad then when I first started out. Like Chuck Lofgren.
You want to talk about like a AAA guy with power that never panned out? He had a.
Well, Jordan Brown was contact over power. He was
He had a 532 sluggish AAA, but he was 25 in AAA. Like those are guys.
The power guy in AAA at that time was Wes Hodges, Georgia Tech third baseman. I still call it the Hodges effect. That's what maybe when a guy has a good half a year and we overinflate him a bit.
Ooh, Daniel Egan this year, and he's in high A, but he's walked a lot of guys. But 33% strikeout rate. He's got 94 strikeouts in 69 innings. So good for Daniel Egan. I liked him. He was Arizona's 3rd round pick last year.
Just for more fun randomness, the most expensive guys with this pick: Alex Mooney, number 2, Tim Fedorov, who they give $725,000. Fedorov is one of the Paul Bird bonus money guys, where they traded Paul Bird away for nothing and then took his salary and got Tim Fedorov. They got who was the guy who was kind of like the hard throwing reliever that I thought Sean Armstrong was going to be like. Now I got to go look up the 2008 draft. Yeah, Stoll.
Oh man, I loved Bryce Stoll.
Fun. They got 3 or 4 guys from that bonus pool. TJ House was one of those guys.
Fun fact about Bryce Stoll: I believe Vinny Pistano and Jason Kipnis were like in his wedding or at his wedding. Brett Iredale just went to the Pirates, by the way.
Oh, I like Brett Iredale. That's a fun one.
Yeah, he's interesting. That's another Australian kid, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus defender too.
He's got a fun profile. He had some power.
Yeah, I mean he is the Guardians profile this year. He doesn't expand. He misses in the zone, and big time exit velocities.
Yeah. Doesn't chase, yeah. Yeah, I would have been interested in him. I mean, I don't think he's got data as bad as the other guys do, but also obviously.
I mean, he does. Like he does. I mean, I've got the data up. I had to talk myself out of him several times this year. He's with those other guys.
Edge.
Yeah, he's right with the other guys.
He's on the edge.
I mean, no one's as bad as Schubert in terms of that, but like
it's so bad.
Iredale. So he was
18.8% zone whiff, but he doesn't chase.
The other
doesn't chase.
No, but he's got like 32.2 while playing in the SEC for a barrel rate, 107.7, 90th percentile exit velocity, no chase.
Do we even? Oh yeah, here. Yeah, Schubart's got almost a 30% whiff rate in the zone.
Yeah, it's bad.
Did Lavalette's end up around the same? Because we don't have that completed data.
I can enter that data in a second.
No, I don't have it in the list. I'm so mad they didn't take Jack Gurovich, but Jack Gurovich obviously. Okay, if you wanted to pick a first baseman only, why didn't they take Jack Gurovich? Because Gurovich
was already gone, dude.
Well, I know that.
Where were you going to take? You couldn't take him over the guys they took. I mean,
yeah.
And the thing with Gurovich, you also have to be honest, he did it at a very small school. Like the numbers are good, but like, I can't fault them for drafting Schubert over them, who has loud tools. Like Gurovich is okay. Like, but Gurovich got overdrafted, in my opinion. I didn't think he was.
He probably did. And his
Paxton Kling, big name to Texas.
Oh God. Paxton Kling, oof, boy.
What a fall from grace, as it were, with him. LSU, like he was a guy who was supposed to be a first round pick, maybe potential future top 10 overall pick. Just didn't get there at LSU.
The Giants just took Cameron Maldonado out of Northeastern. He was kind of like the Mike Sirota light this year. Not quite Mike Sirota's tools, but a little bit light. Not related to Candy Maldonado, in case anybody's wondering. I looked it up a few months ago, so I thought he was Candy Maldonado's kid. He is not Candy Maldonado's kid.
So I didn't even put Jace Lavalette in the thing this year. Okay,
you didn't because it was so bad.
Okay, well, no, I do have him in here. Change that. Where is he?
Well, it's just missing some data. If highly rated guys on the board, is that a good sign of undraftable? Yes. So like guys like Cameron Appenzeller and Jack Bauer, the fact they're still on the board means they're either undraftable or some team is trying to save money and push them down the board, like Cleveland did last year with with Chase Mobley. But we'll see if that happens because. I don't know, especially if we're a guy like Jack Bauer. Like Virginia kids are very hard to sign historically. Although I'm interested to see how that changes because now that Virginia's got a new head coach. So we'll see. But yeah, guys that high are generally very hard to sign. Brock Sell is still there. Alec Blair. Let's see. Dickerson finally went. Henry Ford has not gone, which doesn't shock me because there's just nothing there. Yeah, Appenzeller is still there. Corbin Dickerson just went recently.
Yeah.
Hartshorn's gone. Did Reed Worley finally go or no?
No. Kind of surprised by that one.
Yeah, Reed Worley is still there. I would love to see them still take a shot. Jacob Kuhn from Midland went to Tampa Bay, a junior college kid. The draft, if anybody is not familiar, the draft and follow is still a thing that happens for junior college kids. So you can draft a junior college kid. You can draft a high school kid, right? And if he goes to junior college, you can still sign him a day before next year's draft, right? Is it 6?
No, you have to sign him before the draft, and you have to offer 150,000. So it's got to be the max for it.
If you're wondering too, here's a note from Carlos from Baseball America. The draft signing deadline is 5 p.m. July 28th, so they basically have 2 weeks to sign these kids, which means you better know who's signing when you draft them, because if not, you're gonna lose.
Yeah, and they have deals in place for all of these. I'm filling in Lavalette right now, since I do have that data, just in case you did want that, Justin. You can do some comparison pieces. He has some of the worst zone whiff in the entire class. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that.
Did you update it on the live sheet?
24 data, yeah.
I'm looking at it and I don't see the updated numbers, Jeff.
You sure you're in the right one?
Yeah, 24 data. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll reshare it with you. Just make sure you have the right link.
The live version, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just getting his WRC plus in right now. Just I like to have that as one of those free stat things that are interesting for comparison.
Did you update it for 2025?
Yeah, 25.
You have multiple tabs.
Yeah, I'm updating it for 25. I'm just trying to get the last pieces. I don't think I have launch angle, and I don't have 90th percentile. I have average exit velocity, but I don't have 90th percentile.
I see Lavalette last year 21% last year.
No, I've got it right here. I'll reshare the link.
All right.
If it'll let me. It shows you in it, so you're in the right one.
That's so weird.
He's in there. If you go to the 25 tab.
They don't want anybody trading more picks in the CBA ones because they don't want teams. It's an anti-tanking thing. They don't want teams punting.
See, so my heart agrees with you, but no, Boston Smith isn't going to catch. He's going to be a first baseman. He's not, and he hit really well in a poor conference. You definitely want a lefty who throws 98, who's 6'4", who's had success at the higher levels than a mid-major guy. My heart is with you. I want a Boston Smith. Like, part of me would have rather had him than Nelson in the fifth, or no, in this whatever round that was. I'm already getting myself confused, but no, I think
fifth round. Yeah,
you definitely want a lefty who hits the upper 90s and has had success as a reliever over. Like Wright State's hitters had yet to have anyone who's been successful. And Boston Smith did that as a senior. Like, he was not drafted last year. He was a guy with, lots of experience beating up on younger players in a weaker conference. As much as I love him, as much as he's a guy I talked about as being a ton of fun, he's probably not going to translate. Peyton Graham from Gonzaga, another Irvine kid, McCombs off the board, Miles Patton from A&M. Having kind of a run here on semi-famous names. And the other interesting thing with Jace Lavalette that I don't think we talked about yesterday that I got a text on is that he had extreme reverse splits in 24, and then they normalized in 25. And that's part of his issue, was like he basically had something unsustainable in 24, and then in 25, and all of a sudden he wasn't killing lefties anymore. He kind of came back to earth, which is something we've seen with like Josh Naylor, like where he had the few good years where he could hit lefties and they couldn't hit him at all. So, But yeah, I have. I like this one. Someone's like, so you're fine with that profile and it's the Pirates, but not the Guardians. Got it. I'm like, I'm fine with it when it's the 7th round.
Yes, exactly. Like you always say, you can find upside later in the draft. And I mean, I truly don't know. Like, again, they went for, everyone's like, they went for positional profile, but it's like Jace Lavalette's not playing center field, probably. Like, he's probably playing right field, so you're really not getting positional upside. They're probably they're gonna try to play him in center, I'll tell you that. Oh, Pierce Coppola just went to the Cubs from
that's Florida. All traits. I mean, boy, he struggled in college.
Well, I mean, because Florida just has not developed anybody good. Like, they're just terrible player development, especially when it comes to pitching. So here's some data from Nelson Kello's slider. 2476 spin rate. So it's another pretty high spin slider. Here's a question that I probably don't have a good answer for, that maybe someone like Lance Bradzowski has, or maybe even Aria. Is the college ball is probably a different ball than the MLB ball and the MLB ball. Obviously, we know the MLB ball is different than the major leagues. Like AAA and major leagues use the same ball, but they have a different ball that's used at AA and below. I have to assume the college ball is probably also different, right? Because why would it be the same? Because that would make too much sense, right? That would make too much sense, right?
There's college. Well, the problem college baseball different than professional baseball. When I try to do a quick Google search, is then it's about like actually the game of college baseball versus the game of professional baseball.
This is a concerning question. Jared Jones, is this going to be a Guardians guy this year?
No. He was draft eligible last year, so he's old for the class. He chases a ton, and they don't go for chase. Everyone's been he's got a bad zone whiff, and he's got a bad chase, and he's got a bad K percentage. He does barrel, he does hit the ball hard, he does have a good launch angle, but the one constant in there is, and like, why didn't they take Corbin Dickerson? Because, he's the other guy where it's like he has a bad zone whiff and a bad chase. He just, for whatever reason, didn't strike out a ton. But Jared Jones, the one thing they don't want is guys who chase right now, and he chases. You can pretty much say he's not going to go, him and Trey Fairway.
You really want Cleveland to draft Joe Arriola.
To Arkansas. Hey, Ashland, Hunter Allen just went to one of the best D2 players this year from Ashland University in Ohio, just went to Baltimore. He's a 6'4" senior. He's mid-90s. I got kind of hit to him late. Good 3-pitch mix. Nice to see Ashland on the board, and good to see him.
I love a good Ohio pick.
So we got an Ohio kid. Yeah, Joe Arriola is a solid producer at Wake. I liked. I hate to break too drastic. The ball is, they switch the AAA and Major League Baseball ball is the same. The lower minors is different. Josiah Ragsdale from Boston College. That's a guy I feel like I've been reading about for eons, even though he's only a junior. He's always been kind of a decent performer. Not surprised he goes to the Brewers. Only the third Ohio player chosen. I'm surprised it's even been 3. I'm like,
it's not been a great year for Ohio. Who's third?
Boston Smith, Hunter Allen, and I couldn't, unless you want to count Deswaria, who
Deswaria's an Ohio kid. Yeah,
originally
he's from Ohio, and then Becheetles. That's 4 then.
I mean, originally, but like they're not current Ohio players.
Landon
Vidrick. Landon Vidrick.
Oh yeah, so that's 5. That's 5. Guys who were born in Ohio. I'm saying guys who were born in Ohio.
Those don't count though in the draft placement. It's where you're playing.
They play.
It doesn't matter if they played here in high school. Yeah. They're not Ohio now. It's where you play in terms of draft. When you look at the draft placement, so it's Vidrick, Smith, and Allen are the 3 Ohio guys this year.
At 3:20, I have to run and do. I'm doing 92.3 with Nick Wilson, so you can catch me over there talking
Nick, what's
more
up with
about
that? He's never had me on. He used to have me. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I will. I say, man, you guys don't like Jeff. Yeah,
don't like me. Oh, it's okay. No one likes me. I've gotten more swear words at me in the last 24 hours than I ever have any day in my life. So it's
yeah, because heaven forbid you have an opinion on a draft guy that you do or don't like. Heaven forbid. Jeff, you host a podcast, but you're not allowed to have an opinion.
I really want to tell this dude to F off. Would save everyone some time if you made it to wanting help in Hawk types to continue having the team where they are.
That's not the guys you want, though. You have said that's not the guys you want.
I know.
You want... We pointed out some guys yesterday with power who we liked for them. It's not like we said, don't take anybody with power. Take all contact and teach them to hit for power. We have not said that at all. It's just we had guys with power that had less chase you're just not. I mean, you're just not going to find a happy middle with a lot of this. It's unfortunate. So,
no, I'm just like you can see that I have it written up to stuff. It's just I don't know, I'm so tired of people being
jerks.
Dicks.
Yeah,
it's just everyone thinks they know everything. Hey, Jace Mitchell, the top prep player from Delaware, interesting catcher. That explains some of the savings. Like this is gonna be an overslot one for Houston, so that's interesting there. Yeah, Cleveland's not adding any catchers. That's what it looks like. Sorry, Mike Pellegrini. No, they're not adding catchers because there's like none left on the board.
No, they're all gone. They're all gone.
Unless you think Jasky is someone, but I don't. They haven't saved money.
I do have Jasky on my board. Or Jaska. Is it Braden Jaska?
Jaska, yeah.
Tigers are on the clock. I'm putting out the links to the regular episode, not the regular, the episode that we recorded last night, Jeff, that is on the day one of the draft. So if anybody wants any more thoughts on day one, that's out there. I don't know who this is. That's an interesting one, Jeff. Another junior college kid. Kale Whiska?
Yeah, sure, it's weird because they still have not spent hardly anything.
Are they really going to buy Cameron Appenzeller down this far? I can't see that.
Yeah, they could. I mean, they haven't spent any money. Every pick's been.
No, I'm just saying. Like, is he really the guy they want to buy down? I'm gonna text our Detroit guys and see what they think. They've had a really weird draft. It's been a weird. I loved Detroit's draft last year. By the way, loved it. They took Ethan Scheifelbein, who I liked. They took the kid from Gonzaga that I liked, which was oh god, who was the Gonzaga pitcher last year? I really wanted them to draft. And they took Bryce Rainier, who unfortunately is out for the season with a shoulder injury. But I really liked Bryce Rainier last year.
I gotta say, so just the last humor on person, they decided to tag my post on Locked On and try to get us fired. So that's the fun one. Someone doing targeted harassment.
What are they saying? What did you say?
Because I told him get bent and get lost. Like I didn't swear at him. I'm like, I'm fine. The whole thing with this. I'm like, I'm fine when it's the 7th round. And then, he comes back at this. I'm like, get bent and get lost. He's like, Locked On Network. The guys you have running the Guardians accounts are real classy. Like I said, get bent and get lost. I didn't say like F you. Matthew Fisher to the Phillies. So all that savings. There we go. There's one of the big names we talked about. I told you that like
someone was going to get him. Yeah, there goes Matthew Fisher. I
like Fisher. Really interesting.
I like I like him quite a bit.
And he's a very much a Phillies type of guy.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun. The fastball needs some work for Fisher. Like it's not as high as it should be, but he has a prep kit, so maybe there's a little bit more. And I think there's some life to it. He has 6'3", so that's
throwing
fun.
like
Indiana
touching 95. You're hoping for more, but
he did play some football before, and he gave it up because he got hurt. So, which is probably smart, but All right, so the Guardians are on the clock, folks. It will be a first baseman who doesn't have any power. Breaking. Pitcher from Ole Miss, Will McCausland. I don't have anything on Will McCausland, do you?
Nope.
All right, let's do a quick Google. You're seeing it live here. We're not one of our one of the names we're really familiar with. So Will Causland. McCausland, I should say. Will McCausland is 21. He is a junior. 30% strikeout rate, 6% walk rate. So it is returned to a little more control. Looks like he went to St. Joe's before this. So this is his second college. He did transfer. He is a reliever. He was a starter at Joe's. He was a reliever this year. So this is a reliever pick here. But yeah, didn't walk a lot of guys as a reliever. Did miss some bats. So there's that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the old school approach. It's a strikeout rate over 10 and a walk rate under 3.
Yeah, which is, here's the thing with the pitching development too. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like they develop pitchers with this profile very well. Like that's something, if you want to sit there and say one thing about like the hitters, like they haven't developed hitters very well, there's that. So yeah, Will McCausland went to St. Joe's. But with the pitching side of things, they don't really have to change anything when it comes to pitching because they've done a good job of developing pitching. So there's no reason for them to deviate from that.
I've also just never heard of the name McCausland before. That's a new one to me.
He's only a 6-foot right-hander. He's not very big. Yeah.
He transferred from a JUCO, right?
No, not a JUCO. He went to St. Joe's. That's not a JUCO.
Yeah, it's Division 1.
Yeah.
And likely under slot here just because he is a reliever. So we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Hey, someone pointed out he had a good cape in the past.
All right, so there is that, yeah.
So he very much fits their old approach. It was only 4 games, but it was a great 4 games last year.
Mm-hmm. Go find his St. Joe's profile a little bit, but yeah, that's the thing is I didn't dive this year as much into the Cape stats as I would have liked because I was a little
they
behind
haven't as much as
for sure. Richie Bonamalo Jr. to the Yankees. I don't know who that is. Interesting.
Hey, Mason Estrada just went to the Dodgers.
Oh boy. Okay. Get a little froggy here.
Not going to Tennessee.
I see you went and locked your Twitter account. I don't blame you.
People have been awful. So I'm just doing that for the time being, at least.
There's some interesting, I will say there's some interesting release on Will McCausland. He has some extension. It's kind of a metrics guy. He's interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to go do that now.
Hey, Will McCausland struck out Brent Iredale.
I mean, a lot of people did.
This is fair.
That's why in the 7th round, I'm like, okay, he's fine, as opposed to,
I
mean, so
he's definitely a reliever.
Yeah. So I'm going to look at some stuff here. So one of the reasons is, again, he could be under slot. This could be a money saving pick to maybe get someone else. Like we just saw, hey, Ohio State, we got an Ohio State Blaine Wink to the White Sox. He had another great combine guy. He was awful all year at Ohio State. Some of the worst data in the system, but it's 100% it's about the raw tools. So I'll get back to your question. 1 second.
Who are we talking about right now?
Blaine Wink from Ohio State, who was just I mean, if you look at the data sheet, he had the worst data of any pitcher. Like, I mean, so when you're taking a reliever, it could be that you just, hey, Tanner Thatch, another big name to Colorado, the UNC Wilmington, more of a, at points, was supposed to be a power hitter. The power has never quite been there for Thatch. Hey, he's the great nephew of Catfish Hunter. I didn't know that.
Oh, interesting.
Not a great athlete, but one of those guys that's been on the radar for a long time. So with a reliever, it could be that it's cheaper. It could be like his stuff. It could just be you think, the value for him is better here than anyone else there, or it's just like that he fits a lot of your metrics. I think Doomsmill might be tempted to and
go back to school.
Go back. Can he enter the transfer portal? I don't know how that works, but it's like he could get some guys.
I don't think so. He would have already had to be in there. Okay. So do we have data on him? I still don't have the data, by the way, on Chase Long.
It's in there. I try hitting refresh.
Oh, yeah, I guess my computer's just been weird today.
If you don't hit refresh, it won't show up. Everyone is their profile. None of them mentions A&M, and all mentions Guardians. But that's also not surprising with some of the hate I've taken this year, just from Guardians fans.
Didn't show up for me, Jeff. Didn't show up. I refreshed and it didn't show up.
It's there. I don't know what to tell you. It's in the. It's 100% in the thing. It's in and saved. And
can you reshare the link with me?
I mean, I see your face on the page.
I know, but it's not showing me the updating.
I can send it to you again. I don't know.
No Kent State guys yet.
No, your best bet, and I don't think he gets drafted, honestly, is Sean Casey's son, Jake Casey.
I don't think he's going to be drafted late, Jake Casey, if anything. Yeah. It's going to be a gift. Like it'll be
So Ohio State, though, they got the coach from Campbell a year ago. Whose brother did they just get? Who's like a major league player or prospect? They got somebody's younger brother. It's improving. I think it's getting there. There's a focus with the new AD. I like my tweets because people are swearing at me, calling me names. No threats, but it is swearing, calling me names, insulting my intelligence, just because I don't like who they took. So I like my tweets because people are just deciding that it's all out of tax season. On me. Because I said a nice thing about Brent Iredale in the 7th round by saying, hey, he's been a Guardians type this year, as opposed to...
Which you've consistently said. Again, you can find upside later in the draft. Yes. You want to take Matthew Fisher. He's off the board. He's still on your scroll.
I got to update mine. And the other thing so if you're looking for me, I could say a nice thing, on day 3, I'm willing to take those guys. The worst K percentages on my list this year: Brooks Bryan, the catcher from Troy, who's still out there; Jared Jones, the first baseman we talked about; Grant J, the catcher. Is he at Campbell? Can't remember where Grant J is.
No, he was at Grant J is Dallas Baptist.
He might be better as a pitcher, honestly. Then Jason Jones, I can't remember where he's at. Then Lavalette, who I apparently have in here twice. So hey, I can combine my data and delete one of these. That might be the problem too, is that I had his name in here twice.
Oh, I wonder if that's the case. Maybe I was looking at the one that had the 2 sets of data.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let's see if I do this delete row. There we go. Okay, we'll see. So I updated his data. So Lavalette is, so it goes Brian Jones, Grant J, Jason Jones, Lavalette, Max Blayu, who's hurt. Molinaro, who's Bryce Molinaro, isn't he a catcher? I think he's then Nolan Schubart. But Schubart and Molinaro are below the 25%, as is Irondale and Stevenson and Jack Kami, who you like.
Jack Arcane, yeah.
Arcane.
I'm just gonna sort this by so I can find it. Yeah, that's the guys with the 2 worst zone whiffs on our board is Lavalette and Schubart.
It's identical.
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh,
yeah. Don't do that. I saw what you did there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I meant to.
Yeah, neither of them. They both have some of the best chase rates, but they both just have some of the worst.
They miss in the zone.
They have the worst zone rates of anybody.
Yeah, it's them. Then it's Turley. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't get Turley. He does fit the type that they took.
At least Trey Phelps went back to Georgia, so there's no risk of taking him.
Yeah, Luke Luke Stevenson was also in that camp.
Yeah,
Iredale, and then Curley. I'm like looking for guys who are red in zone whiff and green. So the guys who don't chase but miss a ton in the zone, who are really good at not chasing but really bad at zone whiff, is Lavalette, Schubart, Luke Stevenson, Brett Iredale, Dean Curley. That's your list, and to a lesser degree, Ryland Zabrowski.
Yeah.
So I'm
Jack Archimon though Jack Archimon might be a guy they might take then if they're following this. I mean, he actually doesn't whiff, and he actually has good exit velocity. So I wonder if there's something to him.
I mean, here's
the thing: he's a Richmond guy, so I don't know how good the competition is going to be. But he's a catcher. Yeah, he's a catcher.
Isaiah Jackson is a fun tools guy, low level performance, way too much swing and miss, zone whiff. Who just went to Arizona. Those were the good days at Ohio State. That Dylan Dingler class was just phenomenal. I just went on a deep dive with that on a post show with Justin. With I talked about, I think it was something Ruby was the outfielder. Xavier Moore was one of the pitchers. Seth Lonsway was a pitcher. They were all in Finkel's, not Finkel. They were all in Dingler's class. It was Ohio State had that big year.
Seth Lonsway. Oh, we were talking about him the other day. Remember, he was in Double-A.
I think Xavier Moore's out of baseball, who was the pitcher that went to Texas. Just kind of here we go. Oh, I haven't done it. 8th round, greatest 8th round picks for the Guardians. Here we go. War wise, it is Kurt Lekancic, who was part of the greatest draft ever for Cleveland, 1989. He was traded for Paul Sorrento. That's how they got him. Then Steve Klein, 2, who was traded for Milton Bradley. I want to say Joe Inglet, 3, Eli Morgan, 4. Will Brennan has the 5th best WAR. 6th best is Corey Burns. 7th, Justin Garza. 8th, Rich Thompson. 9, Rob Bellor. And no one else made it who they have signed. Many of those players with the best WAR have negative WARs. Just as a side note, the most expensive contracts in this round. Alex Levesky got $1 million. Then Jackson Humphreys at $600,000. And then, hey, a constant theme of this weekend, Micah Miniard, 3rd highest bonus at $350,000. Donovan Zask from last year at $200,000. And then Caleb Hambrick, part of that 2012 Tyler Naquin spread the money around class, 5th highest bonus.
Oh, Caleb Hambrick, boy, he was not good. Caleb Hambrick could not pitch. That was really bad.
Jack Ruby on the ground. You see, I want to say his name was Jack, but then I'm like, maybe I can't remember what Ruby's name was, and that's why I didn't say it. But Ruby was a really good quarterback in school.
Ruby. So,
and then he just didn't. I don't think he actually ever played for Ohio State. It was a weird thing.
I just texted Raj from the Tigers. He said, no idea. They're 7th round. No one knows who it is. I was asking him if they were saving money for Jack Bauer or Cameron Appenzeller. And Kyle McCoy from Maryland. I kind of liked him a little bit. I came very close to running him up for Cleveland. Here's the thing. He doesn't throw hard enough. He doesn't miss any bats. But he has good control. And I think if I look at the data, I think Kyle McCoy does have a fair amount of zone whiff. Is that what it was? Let me find McCoy on this chart here. Kyle McCoy, 53% strike rate, zone whiff 22.8, FIP was 3.28. So, should I say 28%? Everything was kind of middling across the board. Everything was either solid or kind of below average. So, I came close to writing him up, but he just doesn't miss enough bats for me to write up. I just found Keljo on our list too. Keljo, not a lot of strikes, yeah. I'm still very fascinated by the Phillies draft, by the way, because they just took a whole bunch of bullpen
I like
guys.
Their draft. I think they did.
I do too,
Bowker's
but it's just
probably a reliever. Obermueller's probably a reliever.
Gage Wood
should be a reliever.
And they just spent all that money on Matthew Fisher, so there's that. They're gonna go over on him.
I know Jack Ruby. I was a history major in school. I know the Jack Ruby reference. I'm just saying Jack Ruby was also, I believe, the name of the outfielder who was part of Ohio State's best baseball recruiting class ever. You
know whose draft I absolutely hate, Jeff? Actually, no, I don't hate the Red Sox. They took. It
was Jake Ruby. Was the kid from Ohio State, not Jake.
Oh.
That's where I got confused.
Yeah.
Who took that round again?
The Red Sox. The Red Sox took Godbout.
Which is shocking I like a lot of what they did. I mean, they killed it in the first round.
Yeah, I like Witherspoon and Phillips, and they took Anthony Eisen at the 87th pick, which I like. I like him there. The Angels also took all relievers, like Chase Shore.
They did that last year too.
Yeah.
Ben Bybee is a fun name in the
no relation to Tanner
from Arkansas. Well, Bybee. It's a Y and 7I. So.
Yeah, the AI will get that spelling right more than they get Tanner's right. The Yankees are having a fun draft. Like Dax Kilby, Kate. I know Kate.
They drafted the same player. They drafted the same player with their top 2 picks. That's what I loved about the Yankees draft. They drafted the exact same guy 2 picks in a row.
Caden Kent has like no power, but he's interesting. And of course, they took Pico Cone, who I really liked a lot. So their first 3 picks were at least guys that I knew, so that makes them good.
I have a BA of history and a master's of education. That's my degrees.
Yeah.
So master's.
Oh, yours?
Yeah, They asked me. I'm like, no, it was just I had a BA with a minor in poli-sci from Ohio State, and then I got my master's in education later on.
I got a communications degree. I don't recommend it. Don't go to school for communications. It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. But hey, I'm here. I'm sitting here talking to all these people and you, Jeff. So I guess it worked out okay.
Well, someone like the fast-moving relief pitchers in this class, there wasn't like a standout closer in this year's class, like Tyson Neighbors last year and a few other guys who talked about. Hey, Elon University's on the board. Used to be a big pitching program there.
Really?
Yeah, that's where George Kirby was from.
Why did I think George Kirby was ECU?
No, he's Elon. Elon had a few guys for a few years there. I assume they lost their coach because they no longer got all the guys that they used to get with that. They used to have a few interesting guys a year. But yeah, this wasn't a great reliever class. No one really stand out.
It's not great, Dominic. Communications degrees. Don't recommend it. McShendon Kelkboom. Oh, remember that name. And Sticknarf Loopstock. Yeah, well, Sticknarf Loopstock, unfortunately, was doing a lot of locker diving in the minors. That's what got him booted out of the Guardian system, sadly.
Oh, Ryan Weingardner just went to Penn State. Another Penn State guy here went to St. Louis. Not great data. 100%. You're hoping for a utility guy. He's one of those guys that, some people had him in the top 250. I think MLB did, and in a few other locations. But boy, the data on our data sheet, our big old sheet of numbers, is Ryan Weingardner. He doesn't zone whiff, doesn't chase, but he has no power. He has a good launch angle, and he barrels a decent amount. But had a terrible BABIP and was league average production in the Big Ten.
Here's a funny thing that happened. So MLB's draft tracker does not list the Tigers 7th round pick. It just says junior college. They don't have a name because no one could find the name. So it's like, they just drafted the entire junior college. That's going to be pretty expensive. That's what they're saving all their money for. They just decided to draft an entire junior college.
Jake Knapp, of course, related to Jason. I'm kidding. I have no idea. I seriously doubt he is. I'm just stirring things up. Jake Knapp, most known as apparently a golfer. So now we got to type baseball in it. Find his UNC profile page. He's a graduate student. Wow. So Jake Knapp is 6'5", 270. Who the Cubs just took.
There are draft guys who are out here just
Junior.
Talking. Really?
6'5", 270.
I love that there are guys that are tweeting out videos and content on the 2026 draft class. Like some of the draft guys from this cover the draft are already on the 2026. So,
a guy from Walter State.
Oh, that's Jake Knapp. Yeah, Walter State. Didn't Cleveland have somebody from Walter State?
Yeah, they did. I can't think who it was now. Walter State Community College.
Who did they take?
Got Holy Cross on the board with Danny Marchaleo.
Yeah, I don't know who it was.
This is a good story about meeting Sicknarf's dad.
Oh, yeah. What's interesting is Sicknarf Loopstock's dad is a cop. And Sicknarf Loopstock, I think now is a cop too. I think he's also went to school for he went back to go be a cop, but I'm pretty sure he is a cop now. But his dad was a cop, yeah.
Jack Martinez to Arizona, from Arizona State. So that's a small travel for him. He's got a weird delivery. He's a reliever, but he's been good velocity with a weird delivery. But I just find it funny whenever Arizona drafts someone local, because that's the other thing too. Like Cleveland was never going to draft Boston Smith. They haven't drafted anyone from Ohio since Mitch Luongo, I think.
Oh, Mitch Longo, Mayfield, Ohio. I liked Mitch. Was a great kid. He was. I mean, Mitch Longo played in the Cape, and I think his Cape numbers were pretty good.
He is one of those guys too who fit their style, because his junior year was disappointing. Like he was a solid sophomore year, and then he got up to Double-A with them. And I remember interviewing him and talking about how it's been a very long time since a local kid played for the team, and like what that could mean or be like.
I talked to him quite a few times. I talked to him when he was in college, because he played out in the I forgot. Yeah. Oh, he played in the Cape, and his Cape numbers were pretty good. Like he had they were not good. I lied.
No, they were not good. We actually have a University of the Cumberlands, Kentucky, another Australia guy. I don't really know this one. Kalen Hampson for Baltimore, 4-year senior, undersized lefty. Assume probably a typical lefty there. And then, it's, a lot of teams are having some fun drafts right now.
Oh, Jeff, we have a home run derby question. Jeff loves the All-Star break. He loves the home run derby. He loves the All-Star game. I'm gonna go. I don't know. Matt Olson. I think Matt Olson, who replaced Ronald Acuna, could be a lot of fun. I don't know. I also think the big dumper, Kyle Raleigh's probably going to.
It's not nice to call me that. Oh.
Are you a pitcher? Do you have a big dumper?
No, I don't actually. That's one of the things I don't have, and makes
that's why you're
pants
hosting
annoying.
Podcasts and sitting on it instead of playing.
Hayden Vukovic. That's interesting because we had the other Vukovic.
Is that Pete's younger? Is that Pete's son, Pete Vukovic?
Well, I was thinking of AJ Vukovic, who was a Milwaukee kid. Hayden is a Minnesota kid.
Oh, Pete Vukovic was the guy who played the first baseman in Major League, right?
Oh, I don't. But Hayden Vukovic is a Minnesota kid going to Milwaukee. That means they're gonna be up in arms about that.
Yeah, Pete Vukovic was.
Kyle Walker from Arizona State. We got another Arizona State. The Astros just took him, like an old school Guardians type infielder.
Yeah, Pete Vukovic. I'm sorry, Pete Vukovic's son got drafted back in 2004, so not the same. But he actually, Pete Vukovic was Clu Haywood in Major League.
So I talked about Kyle Walker at one point on the show this year because he's like good speed, high energy, plus type, bat to ball skills. No power, 5'9", might be smaller than that. Just that type of player. Just went to the Astros here in the 8th round. So he was actually an LSU kid who transferred out, but I talked about him earlier in the season because of that.
I still want to draft Michael. I still want to draft Michael Winter, the 6'5" dart kid who's committed to Dartmouth. I still want him. He's from Kansas.
You don't want smart kids there.
No.
Trace
Phillips is still out there. I like Trace Phillips.
Carter Loves. Carter Loves.
Yeah, sure. That's a name that exists. Yeah. I don't even know what round we're in. We're just we're
in the 8th round still. It's just like I said. I knew Kyle Walker because I talked about him this year. I had heard about Knapp, and his size jumped out at me just because anyone over 250 is going to be a weight that I'm like, hey, it's someone who weighs more than me. Let's go look and see what he looks like. And then Kyle McCoy had some good data. Isaiah Jackson has been famous but struggled. Wink had the great combine, but just like the worst data we have. And then Tanner Thatch, again, it feels like he's 73 years old. I feel like I've been talking about Tanner Thatch forever. He's just never quite put it all together at Wilmington. I was always kind of surprised he didn't transfer out, but at the same time, not because he didn't have great numbers, even though people liked him.
There goes Brooks Bryan, one of the last catchers that
Brooks
we talked
Bryan
about.
has the worst zone whiff.
Yeah, it's bad. No, he doesn't, because it's got to be Lavalette and Shubar, right? Brooks Bryan doesn't have.
Then what is Brooks Bryan has something that he's the absolute worst at? Is it
Brooks Bryan has one of the worst chase rates, not the worst, but one of the worst. 28% chase rate, almost 29. He also has.
He has the worst K rate. That's it.
Yeah, which means he whiffs a lot, and he's also passive, which is not a good combination. That's one of the last catchers on the board. Truthfully, doesn't barrel.
He's not a catcher though.
No, the best thing that Brooks Bryan does is he hits the ball in the air. That's really what
his exit velocities aren't great for a small school though. I mean, his barrel isn't great. His launch angle is fine. This
is interesting because I have really liked the Royals draft, and I got to say this is one of my least favorite picks by them. They're saying he's got a good arm, so there's that. I don't know. He's from Troy. Oh yeah, that strikeout rate is enormously high.
Yes,
26%.
He did have a good bat. I mean, the best thing you can say is like his BABIP was good. He had a high WRC plus playing weaker competition.
Yeah, I wonder if that has to do with the fact that he gets
Nick Dumasil. There we go. So that's one of the Pirates spending.
All right, that's the Tigers. Okay,
yeah, Tigers. So
why would they buy him down the board? He's not a
tools. He's got tools.
Guess I don't know. The data on him wasn't all that great, though. Right?
He was fine as his sophomore.
I mean, he's whiffs a lot in the zone. He chases a lot. Doomsnell has a 29.7% chase rate. And he doesn't hit the ball that hard. It's a 106 percentile exit velocity.
I don't love him. I'm not saying he's like great, but there is a reason why coming into the fall, people thought like he had a chance to go in the top 10. Like, he was very well thought of coming into the year. He was, I think my first mock had him going like 11 or 12. So, people liked him quite a bit. He does chase like crazy. The in zone whiff was high, but there was good launch angle, terrible launch angle, good exit velocities, good barrel rates, and good tools and traits. I mean, what does MLB have him ranked at? I didn't rank him, but I mean, they have him at 118. He was once top 20. Brian Walters, another Florida kid, to Philly with more pitching. Cleveland is on the clock. Jamie Hitt from Oklahoma, not a great name for a pitcher, went to the Padres. And Cleveland is now going to take someone that we really don't know here.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be someone we have no idea. Andrew, the Phillies just took another reliever. They took Andrew Walter's brother Brian. So the Phillies are going heavy on relievers this year.
And he's a senior too.
Yeah,
so that's another money savers. Yes, to Emily, that's his brother. Brian Walters there. Like I said, but that's nice. Like this has been kind of a boring round. Brooks Bryan, Dumasil, Jamie Hitt, and Brian Walters. A nice little run of guys we can actually talk about for various reasons.
Right.
Anthony Martinez. Okay, this guy is a good data guy. This is interesting. Another first baseman. He is a guy.
Oh yeah, UC Irvine. Yeah, I kind of liked him. Yeah.
He's a DH. This is arguably their third DH in this draft. But his data is really strong. I was trying to remember it's a really low level competition, but
this is a much better profile for that. This is I like this better than I liked the kid from
well, we just don't have his data, so that makes it hard.
Yeah.
Let me pull up. So
I like this kid better than I like Riley.
I thought I had his. Is it that I don't have his data from this year? I only have his data from last year. That could be my problem. So last year, he has. So he's another one though. Okay, so last year he didn't miss in the zone, ton of chase. So he is the opposite. Really weak, though, exit velocity, bad launch angle, bad barrel rate. He was in the red across the board a year ago, outside if he didn't miss in the zone.
De La Salle High School in Concord. He is, I mean, he's a left-handed hitting first baseman at the very least. That's still right-handed. And there is good Cape data here. He had an 833 OPS on the Cape last year, so that's good. Didn't have a lot of power in college, though.
No, he's a DH with no power who had bad data.
Never mind. So now they're just taking bad. Now, all of a sudden, yesterday it was all position matters, and now it's like, well, now it doesn't. Because yeah, UC Irvine's been better at producing pitching than they've had hitting. Remember last year, UC Irvine had a couple hitters last year that I really liked. They had
and I think I believe the reason I don't have any data is I think he didn't play this year.
Correct. No, he did. He played 52 games.
Oh, did he?
5 home runs, 316 batting average. He had an 838 OPS. So his OPS this year and at the UC Irvine was as good as it was on the Cape, which was 833. So that doesn't give me a whole lot of inspiring to go. Yeah, UC Irvine, I think, who was that? Who's the kid last year that I really liked? They had a couple guys. They had Doug Gleed last year, right? And they had who was interesting. There was somebody else I liked from there last year. Caden, no, not Caden Kendall. Was it Nick Pinto? I forget. But you liked Doug Gleed last year, didn't you? He got a bad year. Well, you know who's from UC Irvine, Jeff, is Trenton Denholm.
Yeah, and, so I think I finally found him. Is Anthony Carlos Martinez? Yes, he was a catcher when he got there.
Oh God, Jeff, remember this name from UC Irvine? Matt Whitehouse.
I do remember Matt Whitehouse. Kind of liked him a bit.
I wish I didn't remember him. Bryce Stoll, also from UC Irvine, so we're going way back now. That's the second Bryce Stoll reference today, by the way, which is really taking it back. What some weird picks, man. This is really just, I don't know. Do they feel like they're just going to fix these guys? Like,
well, they're so good at that.
Yeah, I mean, Martinez doesn't hit for power now, so like this is another guy where they're going to teach power. It's low strikeouts.
His home run rate has gotten worse every single year, as has his ISO. I mean, as has everything. That's a weird one. I mean, he's got no defensive home. I mean, but that being said, like MLB still had him as a top 200 talent.
Mm-hmm. Works out with Johnny Gomes, it looks like. So that's interesting.
Matt Kewer just went to the Yankees. He had a kind of a miserable college.
Not a great year. He didn't sign 2 years ago for the Guardians because they decided to give all their money to Alex Mooney.
I always spelled his name wrong. I want to look up Matt Kewer's name. Yeah.
So they continue to break trends because, like, I could see, Martinez
they drafted two DHs.
Yeah,
they drafted 2 guys that are DHs. That's just weird. Out of curiosity, I'm just pulling up. Stop it! Sorry, my cat's being.
I wonder if they have interest in moving him back to catcher.
No, he can't even handle first base. I'm gonna move him back to catcher. He's 6'3", 230.
Oh.
He had a great freshman year, got worse every year. He was on the collegiate team in 24. most think he can hit at the next level. He rarely strikes out. Quick, short swing that's geared for contact. Very fast hands. It says good strike zone awareness, but his chase rates are awful. Plenty of strength and raw power. You got to work with him to add leverage.
Are the exit velocities bad though? Like, is it bad exit
velos? Horrible. Yeah. They were 102 last year for 90th percentile.
I just don't get it.
No, the data and a 102 too. So if I shift this A to Z, like he had the 5th worst exit velocity. Merrick Houston, Isaiah Jackson, Ken Kepley, Henry Godbout, than him. Like a year ago, and Brock Wells, Ken Canarilla, and Luke Hill are just ahead of him. But so that's their second bad exit velo guy.
That's so strange. Alex Mooney has like power. Like there's power in that profile. He can play third. He plays short. He actually can't play short. The weird thing about Alex Mooney is that he has a very weird like set of yips from playing third base. Like he does not make good throws from third base. There's something very strange about the way he throws, but he has issues throwing from third base. But Alex Mooney is I don't want to say he's an org guy because he's not an org guy, but he's very much a future coach, I will say. Like he's a good teammate. People like him, and he does have power, and there is some speed there too. He's got some tools. It's just that AA it's not working out for him right now. He's struggling. What do you think about this, Jeff? There's a good question from Cheeks. Does Mooney take heat for that as agent because they
the agent 100% does.
Yeah, because that's a case of. Okay, they agreed on a number, and then they came back and said, actually, we want more. And then the Guardians had to decide, like, do we want Matt Cure, or do we want...
No, well, the problem was, like, they agreed on a number. If he goes away, they can't get the other guys either. Like, it's like...
Right, they lost Ryan Marone, who's the guy to watch for next year, and Matt Cure. And... the guys that don't get signed by the deadline, they go back to college.
Or they go to independent baseball. So we're behind. Riley Eichhoff just went to the White Sox. Slade Alford is another big name.
A little bit.
And then, so in terms of the Guardians in the 9th round, if I can get this going, if my cats will not be yerk faces, do not step on the computer. Go away. Yerk face cats. Cleveland in the 9th round. The most successful 9th round picks in franchise history. Wait, I'm still in the 8th. Why didn't it? Oh, because my cat hit the back button when she was stepping on things. Most successful 9th rounder, Luke Scott, second greatest outfielder since Manny Ramirez. James Karinchak, 2. Dustin Moore, 3. Vic Albert, 4. Chris Beasley, 5. Thomas Pannone, 6. Luis Medina, 7. Larry Johnson, 8. Sean DePaula, 9. Mike Edwards, 10. Not a great group.
Sean DePaul. Wow, interesting. I didn't realize I took Sean Paul, the rapper.
I mean, I have very distinct memories of Sean DePaula as a really.
I know. Yes, I do.
Highest bonus. This is kind of surprising. Highest bonus. Will Bartlett, followed by Sean Matson last year, Jay Driver, Brian Eichhorn, and Alex Pantejo. They have really not spent on this round. Like lucky to get spot.
Alex Pantoja. He lived with Francisco Lindor for a little bit. Everyone's convinced Pantoja was going to be the next Francisco Lindor. And it's
I never was. I wrote him up. Like that's back when I was defensively, he had the Lindor traits. Offensively, he had no power or pop, but he was a good defender when they drafted him. That was his calling card. And he was very young for the class, I want to say as well. That was the other Puerto Rican, good defender. So it's 9th round. Now the 10th round is a poop show for Cleveland. There's like nothing going on in that round. So that that'll be very funny when it's time to get to the 10th round performances.
I gotta be honest. Jared Jones just went to Pittsburgh, so there's that. So at least the Guardians won't take Jared Jones. I would have been happy.
I think they weren't going to take him anyway. Well, then again, they just took another guy with swing issue.
Yeah, I would have been happier with Jared Jones than Anthony Martinez. At least Jared Jones has power. Like, it's just weird that Martinez.
Jones is going to cost more too. Let's also be honest about that.
That's part Jones. Jones actually. Jones is odd in that he doesn't actually swing and miss in the zone that much as everybody else. He chases a lot, so clearly Cleveland hates guys who chase. Which I'm down with that. I hate guys who chase too because it doesn't work. But guys who swing and miss in the zone, they don't really care as much. They're like, all right, whatever. But it's just they don't have a lot of data to back up that it works. I'm very impressed none of our insiders have unsubscribed today. I've texted all of our insiders every pick today, and none of them have unsubscribed, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's not been our most positive draft. Oh, that's a good point. They now have 2 Jared Jones, just like we had 2 Logan Allens.
I think Jared Jones is out of the system now.
No, not our system. I think no. The Pirates now have 2 Jared.
Oh, Jones. The Pirates.
Yes.
You want to be an insider, Jake? All right, I'll send the link to anybody who wants to be an insider.
I'm gonna close up Twitter just because it's failing at such a. I'm having some struggles with it. So sorry to anyone who's getting any info from me that way. Maybe when Cleveland comes back around, I'll reopen it. Or maybe I'll just try on my phone. But the website is being so finicky for me. So I'm just.
There's the link, guys. Anybody who wants to join our insiders group, that's on the screen right now. What we do is we just text with our insiders during games, and whenever news happens, if I get anything, we'll send it out. Jeff did a bunch of draft content that was for the insiders. I put my prospect ebook out there for the insiders. When we do mailbag shows, we ask the insiders to send us questions. So there you go.
Well, that reminds me, I should be like, hey, Reed Worley just went to the Giants.
I can't believe he's still there. That's wild.
Well, he was not well thought of until the combine. He's an undersized righty. He's got good spin rates, but he's raw.
I guess it's
he was I think committed to Kennesaw State. Like, shoot, that's the other thing I need to do is sit back.
I changed my mind. I don't know. I think Cal Raleigh and James Wood might have a great home run derby tonight.
I need to do a bunch of shorts. That's the other thing I was just thinking about at some point. I need to just sit down and start hammering them out in between.
Yeah. Jared Jones wishes he was poor man's Tommy White. That's who Jared Jones is. Yeah, thank you, David. He is our official endorser of the insider subscription for Locked On Guardians, even though when he left a review for us on iTunes, I called him Devil in Ohio instead of David in Ohio, and he forgave me for that. That was a great.
Oh,
we do have a new.
You can't join unless you have a U.S. mobile number.
Yeah, because our buddy Pete from Australia wanted to be an insider, and so that makes sense. I have messaged our heads a couple of times about that, and they're like, "There's really no workaround for not being in the U.S. It's a U.S. thing only." I'm sorry, guys. Maybe message me offline and we can work something out and figure that out. Let's talk about Dominic's question too. You guys made examples about chase rate in zone. Who are the darlings in this draft for those classes? We've exposed the bad ones. So the guys who don't chase but also have like good zone, don't live in the zone but also can hit. If you want guys who don't chase that also have good exit velos, so there's Fisher, who has a little bit of zone whiff, but actually has better exit velos. There is Jack Archimone, who's the Richmond kid, so I don't really count that as much. Garrett Mitchell is in here. Garrett Mitchell, where does he go? Or, I'm sorry, Garrett Michelle. Jeff, where does he go to school? That's a small school kid, right?
Yeah, and he's not very good.
Yeah, Garrett Michelle is in this class, who I thought about writing him up, but then I realized
like there's some other data there that really holds him back.
He goes. I'm sorry, he had a very poor Cape. He goes to Virginia Tech. It's not a small school, but he went to the Cape. This says he has good exit velos. What is his problem? Oh, launch angle. Garrett Michelle hits a lot of worm burners.
Another Elon guy. Yeah, Mitrovic was the one I thought would go first.
Yeah.
Mason Nichols from Ole Miss is a fun one. Jacob Myers, LSU. It's another guy afterward.
Mason Neville, 12% zone whiff, 21% chase, and 107 exit velocity. Brandon Compton, 15% in zone, so not great. But Brandon Compton doesn't chase. He hits the ball hard. Just didn't have as good results. James Quinn Irons, who Jeff liked a lot, he doesn't chase. Doesn't swing and miss in the zone. Has decent exit velocities. That's the thing. Like, if you want the guy who I thought the data was interesting on, it was a very small sample, was Ethan Conrad, who never got to play against good competition. Zone whiff rate in small sample was 8%, and he chased it 23%, which is not great, but it's not bad. And the exit velocities were 106. Like, that's the thing with this draft, I will say, is there were no real data guys where you were like, wow, this guy fits. Like, it's all pretty bad. Like, there's not a lot of green guys across the board, and by green I mean excels in zone whiff, excels in chase, excels in 90% outcome, which I want to say, like, Dean Curley is super close to that because he's a guy who whiffs a little bit in the zone, but not a ton, and actually does have good exit velocities. He just can't hit the ball in the air. So like Dean Curley is one of the better ones. So I don't mind that pick. It's just he's not going to play short. And Andrew Fisher would have fit. That's just, he was gone. Cleveland couldn't take Fisher. He was gone. So there's that. I just wonder if Cleveland just like saw the types and we're like, you know what, screw it. We're just going to go against type and lean into this draft. Like, that's something I could think of.
That's not how they've gone though. It's just such a big change. And it's like, you can't find Tim Elko is the only player we found with 25. Colton Book. That's a nice pick by the Cubs there. You can't find anyone with the Schubart, and the reason I'm so negative is just there's literally no one who has their K percentages who's been successful. Literally no one. No, Corey Snyder he was a shortstop, but he was at BYU, and I'll double check, but I feel like, he was a very high pick. Like, Corey Snyder was a top 10 pick. He just wasn't very good long term. See if I can pull up his data have to be on Baseball Cube if there's any hope for his data to exist somewhere. But yeah, let's see. And it's also, things have changed so much since those Corey Snyder days. But I'm trying to remember exactly how he was I want to say an infielder in school as well. Let's see. So he was. Oh, there is data here. So Corey Snyder, by the way, only had 8, 9, and 11% strikeout rates, and he hit over 400 every year with 20 plus home runs per year. So I would say that's not accurate. It was in a different era. The balls did fly a lot more. Things were a bit different. But yeah, I mean, Corey Snyder's numbers were, his worst batting average was 416. His lowest home run total was 21, and his highest strikeout percentage was 11.
I also just think that you cannot compare players from the 80s to today. Yeah. Pitching has just changed so much. Like, I think the only way you can really, the only way I'm going to, like, 29, you almost have to take out 2019, because 2019, the ball was juiced. We know that for sure. Like, there's just not a good comp of things anymore because the game has changed so much. Like, I'm really at the point where I'm like looking at 2021 and I'm comparing guys to 2021 because the post-COVID stuff is, wow, that guy you blocked, the idiot, you said get lost. He said he made that his new profile header. What a loser. Or he's getting blocked from the main account. Why?
Yeah,
Why?
I mean, it's someone that harassed me repeatedly yesterday, and that's the reason I did that. So,
don't be a jerk.
So, yeah, that's the problem with going back, because it's changed so much bat-wise and everything else. It's just like, Dominic has a good point here, where it's like they've changed the bat and the ball in college baseball so much over the year. It's slowed down here. Like, what's going on? Why are we slowing down so much
Not
with
really
the
sure.
draft? This is really weird. Yeah,
Andrew Healy. Wow, and Andrew Healy just went to the Brewers in the 9th round. That was a guy at Duke I liked a year ago, but man, his strike throwing ability was just so bad. He could not throw strikes. Like, I like the stuff, but man, he just, the control was so bad. But the Royals, I mean, I don't mind the Brewers taking him because, God, he got even worse this year. He walked the same amount of batters as a year ago, but he struck out less. Like, he regressed hard this year. I was interested in him a year ago. He was a draft eligible sophomore too, so I know that's not something that even the Tigers guys are confused about Nick Doomsdale, by the way.
Yeah, and it's weird that that's the guy you target, but hey, he was.
Yeah, I was intrigued by Andrew Healy a year ago, but he had a hard time throwing strikes, and then this year he got even worse. Like, he just missed less bats, and he gave up more hits. He walked the same amount. Like, he did not improve at all. He regressed hard. He got 45 hits in 42 innings this year. Last year he gave 32 hits in 40 innings. Like, it just kept going the wrong direction for him. But the Brewers, they're good with pitching development. So, like, I don't know. We'll see.
I was like to someone who said we drafted a sub 6 foot second baseman who struggled mightily in the minors. People just drive me up walls. So we got Luke Braunschweig from UAB. Looks like that will be senior side.
Braunschweig a German? Is he German?
No, he's from Alabama University, UAB, and says USA. Wallace Clark, who Arizona took, was born in the United Kingdom. We do have that in there in this round. From Duke, a shortstop, 4-year senior. You're going to see a lot of seniors here. Maybe not as much as in the past because the draft just keeps going. So, I mean, Cooper Engel is, everyone wants to jump for him, but it's like catching takes forever. Like, he's not going to be here. Bo Naylor's your starting catcher next year. Let's just be honest with it. Like, that's where it's going to be.
Right, because they're hoping next year Fry can catch a little more and they can have a more balanced platoon. But the problem is David Fry is struggling like crazy this year.
One of my favorite guys when we talked about like more of a joking way was Shane Van Dam. Just went to the Royals, where we made some wrestling jokes about him more than his performance at NC State.
Yeah, maybe I was just messaging with our Aria Gershon too, and she was saying maybe it balances out all the picks, like taking Martinez and taking the Vanderbilt kid. Like, maybe that's just balancing out the 3-2 outcome guys, but I don't know. Yeah, it's so weird. Garrett Michelle. I was going back to him, the Virginia Tech kid that actually has really good data, except for the fact he can't hit for power. Or he doesn't have power numbers because he doesn't chase, doesn't miss in the zone, has some of the best exit velocities in his class, but it's because everything he hits is a ground ball. It's 9.7% or 9.7 degree launch angle. So maybe the Guardians will end up taking him because that's the kind of guy they like right now. He's also a left-handed hitting first baseman, by the way.
Yeah,
he does right-handed. So I don't know. Look out for Garrett Michelle sometime today. Like, I'm the way things are going.
No, because at this point they don't have anywhere to put them. Like, you got to put these like
I'm not putting anything past them.
they need to have a spot to actually play at. Right now, first base has been filled in this draft with the guys.
Look, Jeff. We said the same thing for all those years about shortstops, right?
But they could play at shortstop, second base, and third.
They took all
you
the
can't
shortstops.
take a bunch
Now
of first basemen. They can't play anywhere else.
Oops, all first basemen. They had all shortstops.
I'm pretty sure we're done with first baseman at this point. Someone asked about Tyler Stevenson.
Take all the first basemen.
The Reds aren't trading him. Like, again, it's hard to find a catcher. They're trying to compete themselves. The Reds aren't trading Tyler Stevenson.
After this pick, I'm going to take a quick refreshment break here because Guardians are on the clock. Or they will be after this Philadelphia pick is in. Yeah. So after that pick, I'm going to go quickly take a break. I also have an hour from now. I also have 92.3. Prospects Live wanted to have me on at some point today, but I haven't heard from them. So if they don't get back to me, then it's okay. All right. Philadelphia's pick is in.
Matthew Ferreira from New Jersey.
Tom's River. Oh, God, Jeff, who is that New Jersey kid from a couple years ago that I'm pretty sure they released him now, or he was a side armor? Remember the kid I'm talking about? The New Jersey pitcher, the high school pitcher? This had to be the 2021 draft class. He might be already out. Actually, he might be already out. He might be already out of the system. Was he part of 2021? He was not, I don't think. Maybe he was pre-21. Yes, Tommy Ventimiglia.
Oh, he became good in one of my OOTP leagues as a reliever.
I don't think he's from Tom's River. He was from New Jersey, but I think he's also been released. So they tried to make him a side armor, and it didn't work. Guardian. Oh, never mind. That didn't update. That was just the Philadelphia one updating for me. Yeah, Tommy Ventimiglia was from Middle
Ryan Prager. Ryan Prager.
I told you. Right. Watch out for Ryan Prager. All right.
It's an interesting one.
We actually know. Boy, they're going to save money here.
They're not. He's probably going to get full slot here.
You think? He's a senior. He has no leverage.
Some seniors get slot. I mean, to get him to agree, they had to offer him something. He's a well-known senior, a guy who a year ago was a consensus top 3 guy. They're buying low. He's not. He's going to be at least 100,000. I'm guaranteeing that. I mean, yeah. Whoever their scout is for Texas A&M is eating well today.
I know. I mean, Prager could be this year's Josh Hartle.
No.
You don't think so?
No. And the data is so bad. Like, Hartle had his ups and downs, but there were still, like, good pitches there. Like, I mean, Prager was just a mess this year. An absolute disaster. Like, everything backed up on him. I mean, he was sitting low 80s. He didn't touch 90 this year. His velocity completely went away.
So that's what I'm saying. I mean, what's the price in this pick, this range?
I bet it's 197. I bet he's about 100,000.
So, Blake Gillespie. I like Blake Gillespie.
Yeah, Blake Gillespie's fun there
UNC. Yeah, he's a guy who can doesn't throw that hard, but he's probably a reliever. Also hasn't played a big school, UNC Charlotte. That's really interesting. They went Prager. I guess we'll see. I mean, I will say we don't know the NIL details.
Yeah.
But Ryan Prager, we can say for sure, cost himself a lot of money when it comes to the draft.
How much would he have really gotten last year in the 4th round? You know, it's if he does get like $100,000, I bet you he breaks even.
Maybe, yeah.
In terms of OOTP, I don't really play with the settings. I just kind of park it and go. I'm not that in the weeds on it. I'm sure there's more I could do overall, but yeah, I just kind of parks it and go. Well, with Lavalette diving the data, one of the big reasons for his shift is that he last year killed lefties and couldn't hit them at all this year. He had some pretty big reverse splits. A lot of his data is actually the same as a year ago. Just the overall performance is down because he went from hitting lefties well to not being able to hit them at all. With Prager, I mean, his velocity was down. Like he was sitting in the 80s. Everything was down.
Here's an interesting thing on Andrew Healy. If you want some insider info on Andrew Healy, he got kicked off of Duke's team. So that, yeah.
I didn't realize that. So we are into the 10th now. As I said, the 10th is Cleveland's Achilles heel. Yeah, Hines is their only high schooler, I believe, right? Yeah. Best pick in the history of Cleveland's 10th round, Paulo Espino, second highest WAR all time
Daniel's
from
cousin.
IMG Academy. Number 2, Dave Schuler. Number 3, Ever Mangales, the coach now, who we talked about, his brother, who was the hitting coach in with Atlanta, right? Samad Taylor is 4th. 5th is Fernando Cabrera. 6th is Tyler Holt. And 7th is Dennis Kinney. Biggest bonus, Chase Mobley last year, 1.8. Second biggest, Jacob Zibin at 1.2. Third biggest, Tyler Holt at 500,000. All three of those bonuses higher than what anyone ever got in the ninth round.
I love me some Tyler Holt. Shout out to Tyler Holt, who bricked my phone in 2010 after the Captains won the Midwest League Championship. Ran over with a bottle of champagne to where we were standing filming the celebration in the locker room. Came over and doused me in champagne and it bricked my phone, which was a potato at the time because it was like 2010. But yeah, Tyler Holt destroyed my cell phone in 2010. But I like that kid. He was a lot of fun. He was, I believe, he's coaching now. He got hired to somewhere in college.
Yeah, no, but those guys all got a lot of money relative to that. And Tyler Freeman is another one. They went or Tyler Holt, and they cleared up a lot of money to get him. And he got 150 games at the big league level, negative 1.2 WAR. But there's Franco Aleman, 3rd, 4th highest bonus, and Paulo Espino 5th. 6th, Robert Broom, someone I believed in, but that didn't work. That's a big old miss for me.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
This is honestly the worst round for them in draft history. Magalinas made it to the big leagues, Arthur, in 91 for all of 3 games and 3 plate appearances. $1.5 million asking price, so he went to school. Yeah, I don't know what he got. I mean, I had him in the 30s, if I'm perfectly honest. So I'm fine with this. I just think it's going to be interesting because he's just not the same guy. Like, it's just what it comes down to. Like his guys already had Tommy John. One of the big knocks on him is that he didn't develop at A&M. He was a guy who didn't really add anything, was kind of the same guy you're hoping as a lefty who would add more velocity. He didn't really add a lot of velocity this year. He lost velocity, and he's had the health issue. I don't know the whole situation. It does feel more like he told the Angels what it would take to sign him. And, but see, I having talked to someone with connections with the Angels, they thought they had a deal in place with Prager, and then he decided to go back to school. So there was.
That's what I'm saying. You're saying he's going to get 100,000 here. I got to think if the Angels had it. The Angels took him the 3rd round last year.
Yeah.
I got to think he was going to get more money in the 3rd round last year than he would get this year. You're saying, I guess, are you saying he's probably a hole with the NIL?
Yes. I think he got
all right.
There was a rumor that it was a 7-figure NIL deal or close to it because A&M had lost their head coach and then they were afraid of everyone entered the transfer portal. And then they promoted their hitting coach, and there was a big kind of rallying the money type of situation to make sure everyone came back, try to keep the band together. I'm spending a lot of time on Jake McCutcheon because he's one of their top 250 guys, and because we've got a bit of a slowdown in the 10th. This is where it gets weird, because like in the past, the 11th round had so much value because you'd be calling around, seeing who was going to change, what was going to go on, and who you could maybe convince for this amount of money or that amount of money. Now it's a rolling draft. I'm not saying you can't call in between rounds, but it makes it a little bit harder, it feels like, to do that. Yeah, the 10th round is also where another one of their more infamous, Hunter Hines, that is a senior signed to the Nationals who, man, we're going to talk about expanding the zone and whiff and power, the very famous, because he's been a Mississippi State senior power hitter. That's probably going to be one of the bigger names we see go here in the 10th. But for Cleveland in the 10th, Ross Kivett is kind of the name.
Ross Kivett. Wow, what a name there.
Because he was a Ohio kid who was a Kansas State who they had to deal with to get him under slot. And that year in 2013, I don't know if he asked for more or decided he wanted to get more, and backed out of a deal, which was again, that's a bad look. I think his agent might have even let him go after that.
Was that a height? Did they take Kivett out of high school and he went to Kansas State? Or did they
no, this was after his junior year.
He didn't sign out of college and then went back. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then that cost them.
That cost them. Ohio kid, right?
Yeah. Originally.
Jeff, your guy, Hunter Hines, went to the Nationals.
I just talked about it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I was texting with a couple other people about.
No. So then Ross Kivett, by not signing under slot, they lost the money they were going to give to Heath Quinn, who went on to have a pretty good career at Samford. Had a really big junior year. Who they took in the 12th. They gave Plutko a lot of money in the 11th because that was the Clint Frazier draft. So they wouldn't give Plutko money. They're going to sign Heath Quinn, but then Ross Kivett would not agree to the deal they had in place. And then he said, well, I want to go back to college. So he went back and they lost Heath Quinn because of it.
Yeah. Ross Kivett, Broadview Heights, Ohio.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember where he was from. I knew he was Ohio kid. I forget where he was from.
And then, because then he was a 6th rounder of the Tigers the next year. I don't know what his bonus was that year. And then he was, he got up to Double-A, it looks like, for about 25 games. But I mean, career in the minors, 687 OPS. It was, and the 6th round, I'm curious what he got that year, just because as a senior in the 6th, that feels like it'd be, you know what? Good for him. He got 110,000. So
who was that?
Ross Kivett as a senior sign. Tigers gave him in the 6th round, 2014, 110,000. So good for him.
Out of baseball by 2017, by the way.
Yeah.
He's only 33 now. He's still younger than me, which is crazy. Okay. Who's going to play pro ball this year? The guys they drafted. So we know it's not going to be, more than likely not going to be Jace Lavalette.
No.
I would bet on Dean Curley playing. I would bet on Nolan Schubart playing.
Martinez.
For sure. Yeah, Martinez. Will Hines will not pitch this year, not in the actual game. He'll play in like the Instructs or like the Bridge League, which is like a weird quasi Arizona fall league, which is only for prospects. So that won't happen. Who else? I'm trying to think here. All the college guys except for Lavalette, I would expect to play, to be honest with you.
And then we'll have to see. Sometimes with pitchers, you never know, but not that they've drafted. Hines is the only.
Keljo,
and then the Ole Miss kid. So I think those guys might pitch. I don't think they're inning. Well, yeah. Keljo might not because he was a starter.
If I were to bet, Prager will pick because time for Prager is of the essence given his age. So I would be willing to bet Prager is going to pitch.
Yeah, I bet Prager, and I bet the Ole Miss reliever, because he wouldn't have as many innings. Keljo may not because of the start and stop. So that'd be the one pitcher I think may not pitch, just because of sometimes they're a little more cautious.
I don't know. My guess is Prager pitches, just because time is going to be.
No, yeah, I'm not saying. I was saying Keljo. Keljo's the one guy who may not.
Keljo, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone else likely will. Keljo just may not, as he's been a starter and a reliever. He's already been kind of jerked around a bit.
I will say, I was talking with Jeff Pons. He kind of likes the Guardians drafts. He thinks it's interesting for them to go for more traits and more guys off the board, because their approach was getting left behind compared to what other organizations were doing. So,
but at the same time, we say that, but like, don't we see guys progressing from their system earlier, better than typical, with Kafis and Lada and some of those guys moving up?
I mean, DeLauder, I think DeLauder fell from being a top 5 guy because of the injury concerns and the fact that he played at a small school, but he had great Cape numbers, and he was a data darling too. Like, he was a guy that really made.
Well, his data was okay. He didn't have a ton of great data because he didn't have a ton of great performance. So you couldn't really have data on him.
Yeah. But he was a guy who didn't chase, he didn't whiff in the zone, and he had power. Like, he had good.
But he did chase and whiff in the zone in the small samples, because they were so small that he got obliterated.
Yeah, because that was the Parker Messick and Hunter Barco thing. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, that's interesting.
So like I said, it just comes down to it's just weird. It's no, I mean, we've always said he's probably not going to play this year, Bronson. We said that, like, he's had 2 wrist surgeries this year now because he played too early after the other one and then need to get cleaned up. So when you read between the lines, he's not going to play this year. It's a weird draft but it's what they do. Like, almost every single hitter they took had a better sophomore than junior year. Like, I think you can make that case for everyone outside of Walton, that they were better as sophomores than as juniors. And Curley. But he was a freshman, and this was his sophomore year. So, because Martinez actually got worse every year of college, so I know that's the case for him. And I believe Schubart was better last year too. Shai Robinson is another guy who the Twins just took, who has really good tools, but just had a miserable year from Illinois State. And Maximus Martin is a Kansas State guy who's Yeah,
we'll try to get Jeff Potts back on again sometime soon after this craziness is over. He's not going to have time this week because I know he's in Atlanta and he's going to be traveling back to Boston to get home. So, that Northeast area. So. Someone in the real Fausto Carmona thinks that the Guardians are killing this draft because the coaching change at Texas A&M is a market inefficiency. Gonna say no. Gonna say that's a no. I don't know. I'm more interested in the Nelson pick now that we've got some more information on Nelson. The Martinez thing I don't really love because, like, there's just no power there at all, and he's at a small school. Like, it's fine for me with Nelson.
But it's weird because he's still rated so highly. Like, top 200 prospect on, like, a lot of people internally like him. So, and I don't have data from this year. So, maybe there's some improvements I can't see. And our data guy is busy right now, so I can't get anything from him. Yeah, Maximus Martin was a really good prospect out of high school. It just didn't come together. It's a nice pick by Boston there. And Shai Robinson had some of the worst data I could find. I mean, lots of athleticism, lots of traits. You're betting on tools. Lots of time missed due to injury. Like, that's just a raw kid to the Twins here.
Yeah. Did anybody actually write up Riley Nelson? Like, was that somewhere?
Not that I saw.
Did even Baseball America do a profile on him?
Oh, I didn't check Baseball America. I mean, they probably did.
I'll check them. Yeah, they have him ranked as the 290th prospect. Hitter-ish. Yeah, it doesn't strike out. Numbers in conference play were better than overall, so it sounds like his numbers during the SEC schedule were better than his other ones, so that's a good thing. Swing and approach limits power. Will flash solid pull side juice. Spray the ball at all fields. Could fit in left field, but challenge given athleticism and below average speed. So, really strange. I don't know, but some people are saying they like the Guardians' approach. Like, it's changed. Like, what they're doing is not working with hitters, so they like it better. I don't know.
But I feel like that's like like people are saying that's an overcorrection.
It's an yes.
Oh, there goes Isaac Lyon to Seattle.
I liked Isaac Lyon. Yeah. Let me see what I have on him. He is a that's what did I say? Grand Canyon, I think.
Yes, Brandon. I now do remember with the Cardinals, maybe Boston.
Yes, he's a side armor or like a high side armor. He's got a weird delivery. Good control on the Cape. Also had a really good strikeout rate in the Cape. Sinker, sweeper, changeup does have a cutter. Low 90s. I wrote name to remember on day 3, but in fairness, this would be day 3. So
no, it's still day 2, 10th round.
Oh, it is day 2. Okay, yeah. You're right.
Yeah, because some of it's. I guess, like I said, for my whole thing with it, it's like
I wrote that before I realized that was 2 days now and no longer 3.
The 3 they took, it's just like I said, I'm Curley is a good value where they got him. It's just Schubart struggling against good competition and then being at the extreme end, and then Jace being at the extreme end. Well, it's probably signing bonuses. And Jack Bauer, I was told, really wants to go to Virginia, so I'm not surprised by that. Cameron Appenzeller had a very weak spring. He was throwing in the 80s, so that kind of hurt him. Alec Blair is a 4-star basketball recruit going to Oklahoma to be their new starting center fielder, so that is not a shock there. And Henry Ford has 2 years of control. He's a draft eligible sophomore, I want to say, who had an awesome freshman year and then just was awful this year. I think he is also looking to transfer, so he might be able to view like he'll get more in the transfer portal that way. I gotta double check something real quick. But yeah, I don't know. Like Arizona just took Craig Counsell's son.
Really?
Yeah, in the 10th round. Brady Counsell, a senior sign guy.
Arizona took him instead of the Cubs, huh? Who would have thought?
So I guess teams never draft their own sons. It's too much like pressure, favoritism setup.
Well, you're doing. Used to have those favors where you used to take certain.
Yeah,
guys.
but but the sons of someone always goes to another org. It's never your org. You don't draft your own kids outside of what's his name, who used to be the White Sox guy who overdrafted Williams. Kenny Williams overdrafted these guys. The catchers are really weak.
I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to take
a quick there's not a lot of great catchers I would look at for this team in general. And then I did the wrong thing. Round 4. I was trying to remember. Cleveland took Luke Hill. He's kind of their old school approach guy, second baseman, utility guy. Not a lot of power, not a lot of pop. Controls the zone. The Ole Miss pitcher is kind of the old school approach of high strikeout, low walk, good Cape performance. He's probably a reliever. He's not big at all. You're probably doing a little bit of money savings there. It's a solid value. I've got no issues with that. Prager's really interesting from the perspective that I mean, a year ago, I thought he was a second round value, and that he went back to Texas A&M, and his velocity never went up. Nick Hamilton was a day 3 guy, and he was not a real prospect. We didn't draft Brad Hamilton. We didn't draft the other Hamilton son, who was a DH only at Kent State. We only did a favor for one of the Hamilton kids. So, just in terms of Prager, it's like his velocity never improved in college. It actually went down this year. His performance was really bad. So you're just kind of looking at that aspect of it. It's a risk, but I like it. I mean, I think Luke Hill has a chance to be a starting second baseman. He's also has a lot of utility risk. It's all contact, no chasing, no missing in the zone, not great exit velocities, but it is a good launch angle, so you can barrel the ball. Because that's the thing. Like, if we went back and had Steven, this is going to get me in trouble. If you looked at Stephen Kwan's data in college, I bet it would be not dissimilar from Luke Hill with good barrel rates, good launch angle, no chasing, and low exit velos. So he's not Stephen Kwan, but there's some similarities in that profile. I think the Joey Gallo comp is doesn't work because Gallo, like, Chase is a good athlete. Joey Gallo was an extreme plus athlete and had legit 80 grade power. Jace Lavalette is a 70 grade raw. Like, he doesn't have the same level of power. He doesn't have the same level of athleticism. He's a step down in both of those. So if you're like, and then my question becomes, does a lesser Joey Gallo work? And I don't know. They also drafted a Dolan in the 30s. I think they drafted, I can't remember which Dolan it was, but they did draft a Dolan. Didn't sign him. It was out of high school. He went on to play college baseball sparingly somewhere, but they did do that. I mean, there's always weird draft picks like that, but Nick Hamilton was a shortstop at Kent. Brad Hamilton was a DH. They didn't draft Brad. I expected them to draft Brad, but they didn't take him. Day 2, they've gone with a lot of famous names. That's nice. It's interesting how it's been so college heavy. I think Hines is the only high school kid, unless I am wrong. It's been very bat heavy, which is funny because this was known as a good college pitcher group, but instead they went with a lot of bats. You look at Martinez was 171 on MLB's list. Keljo was 182. Luke Hill was 98. Schubert 126. Hines 163. Walton 161. 60 for Curley. 20 for Jace. So they've gotten a lot of guys from kind of the MLB top 200. I don't think they're going to have a lot of extra bonus money to spend. I feel like they've gone through and spent a lot of it. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate that. I just had Cade Woods, another LSU guy, going to Atlanta. And we're 5 picks out from Cleveland. So, as I said, the 10th round is easily Cleveland's worst round of the draft. Feels a little bit snake bitten with some of the picks they've had there. I don't believe Mobley has pitched this year, but he has been healthy. And Jacob Zibin was all injuries. And those are 2 guys they paid like second round picks. Essentially last year, their entire extra bonus from the first round where they signed Bazana for, they used all of that extra money to get them Mobley. So they got Mobley, who they paid they paid Mobley like a first rounder at 1.8 million. And they got him with all of their extra Bazana money. So maybe they're hoping he'll be the one to break what has been a round of failure for them for a very long time. It feels like I got confused. So we had Maximus Martin, and now we have Max Martin in the same round. That's fun. I was like, wait, didn't we already have Maximus Martin? Are we stuck again? No, this is because we have Max Martin going to Kansas City with this selection, who's a big kid. The other guy was a shortstop. This is a pitcher. I'm still very curious, as I don't get the Tigers draft approach, but we'll see what they do here.
The Tigers saved a lot of money early on, and
they just took a 5'8" Puerto Rican catcher from Central Florida. So I still don't know what they're doing.
There's no chance. after the 11th round, money doesn't count, right? After 150, after the 10th round.
No, you can still spend it like crazy. Yeah, your pool money is fine. It's anything over 150 is subtracted from your pool.
Right. The 10th round is usually where you see a lot of deals, like a lot of big names, right?
No, it's the 11th round.
Okay.
Because in the 11th round, you get the bonus of that extra 150K. So like if I sign someone for like 3 million in round 9, there's also the pool part, but you get an extra. So the 11th, some of these guys could still come off the board on my list. Some of them could be an 11th round target because that extra 150K you then save that you can then package on someone else. You look at what the Brewers did a year ago, like Blaine Lepetstu, I can't think of his name, is looking really good for them. And they were able to they intentionally moved around some money to do that. So that's what you could be looking at potentially. I didn't realize Max Martin was the closer this year. He had a lot of saves. I was joking while you're out that we had Maximus Martin and Max Martin in the same round. And was it Maximus is barely 6 feet and the other one's 6'5"? We are Phillies are on the clock. We are almost to the next Guardians pick. Cole Gilly, another Indiana guy. Indiana's been a good developmental program in the Big Ten to Philly.
The Big Ten sucks, Jeff.
It does, but Indiana's been putting guys out every year.
Yeah, I don't know what the Tigers are doing. I love the Tigers draft a year ago. This year, I'm so confused.
Yeah, but I said, I think they're going to target someone in the 11th is my guess. To maximize the mess. Like I've always said, I don't understand why Cleveland does it in the 10th because they can maximize the money spending if they did in the 11th with guys like Mobley and Zibin. So that's why I know. Harrison Bodenorf from Oklahoma, a 6'5" pitcher.
For the Guardians.
Yep, for the Guardians here. I did not spend much time on Harrison Bodenorf. So he's a big guy. No, Oklahoma.
6'5". Oklahoma State.
Oh, you're right. He was a Hawaii transfer.
He's a cowboy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's from
6'5" lefty
originally.
Yeah. Hey, favorite athlete Barry Zito. I love Barry Zito. Favorite show to watch was Entourage. One of my favorite shows too.
It's interesting because Oklahoma State is not typically great at development, but he cut his walk rate this year. Strikeout rate also went down. It was his second extended look as a starter, had a good year, and his keep data
numbers were okay. They're okay.
I mean, the hit per 9 isn't great, but
No, he walked a few more than you'd like.
I'm going to misspell this name, but he's a big lefty.
He's not too big, Jeff. He's 6'5", so he is within your preferred range.
Just don't want him over 6'6".
Yeah, 2 seasons at Hawaii. I wonder if Aaron Davenport knows who he is. Oh, Jeff, you have to go look at his arm angle. It is a weird arm angle. It is low. This is a sidearmer. It's a sidearm profile. It is a weird profile.
So probably heavy reliever then. He was the Big 12 newcomer of the year. I mean, I'm seeing it not low. I thought you said it was.
It's like
low.
It's a very. I guess
it's out there. It's side armory, but I don't think I'd say it's low.
You think he still is a reliever?
I don't know. It's not that extreme.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I mean, he is a data guy. It's for sure. I think that's just in their traits guy.
And he's a 10th rounder. He's probably going to get full slot, knowing how they've operated in the past. Just a big fun lefty. They've been targeting lefties more and more of late, and he's a guy who's had some transfers, so that's two of their things.
Yeah, they do like transfers. Harrison did not play this summer. Did not play summer ball. It's a very interesting profile as far as the release is concerned. Like, I think that's a very unique release profile. Yeah. I tell you what, they must have raised his they must have raised his arm slot at Oklahoma State a little bit, because I feel like he dropped down. If you go look at his Hawaii,
okay, because there I'm like, it's not that low.
No, at Hawaii it looks like it was a little bit low. I just retweeted something from Peter Flaherty from BA. It looks like the arm angle was a lot lower in Hawaii. Here's some data on him, by the way, if he wants some Oklahoma State. Ooh, not great. This is just early in the season. This is February, by the way. In February, this is coming from Hawaii. So in Hawaii, he had a 35% chase rate and a 29% whiff rate. So it wasn't very good data coming from Hawaii. And his fastball velocity, Hawaii, was only 87.
Looks like his curveball might be his best pitch.
I think it's his changeup. If we're looking at the data, I think it's his changeup.
Okay.
Not a good extension guy. His extension was below 6 inches, so this is not an extension guy. That was Hawaii.
Not going to give him an extension. You already heard, and they would have seen him when they were scouting Schubart. So that's It's their second pair of second lefty with a. So you had a lefty with Lavalette and a lefty with Schubart. Prager, Lavalette, and Bodendorf and Schubart.
Looks like Bodendorf was their Sunday starter, which
Friday.
Was it a Friday? Oh,
yeah, he was their Friday starter.
Hmm.
They didn't have a particularly strong year at Oklahoma State this year.
Yeah, didn't throw that hard, and it looks like changeup is his best pitch.
Changeup, curve, fastball.
But he never threw that hard, so I imagine this is a reliever because.
So yeah, there's a 1 hour break.
There's a 1 hour break. Oh,
1 hour break.
Well, we couldn't take a break and come back.
Can we?
I do have. We can. We would just. Yeah, I can't pause. It just ends the stream.
I guess do we?
What does everybody here want to do? What does everybody here want to do? We have an hour break. What does everyone want to do? We got 88 people in here right now.
Because I'm definitely going to keep going, even if I just throw up a random one. I think Mason Pike probably gets to school. He's undersized, and there's a lot of things going on there that are just it's a profile that teams don't jump on.
Reagan Ricken also is going to school too. Yeah. Everyone said he is staying there. Yeah, Reagan Ricken. I know, is going. Yeah.
The thing for me, if I'm doing it, is I just want to knock out the shorts on all of these players for the YouTube side of things.
Go ahead and do that. Yeah.
Okay, and then I'll bounce back in.
Yeah. I'll hold on down the fort here. We'll do some questions. Mike, we're not doing the podcast yet today. We're going to do it after the draft is over today.
Well, I think you said your radio thing.
I have 92.3 in 10 minutes. So I am going to need a break for sure. We can take some questions and do some other random stuff. And then
I'll knock out one profile or so, and then I'll jump back in. I'm just going to line up and try to get these up because time is always helpful. People will be looking for information sooner rather than later. So I will come down here.
All right, there goes Jeff. All right, I'll do questions in the meantime. I do have to take a break at 3:20 though to do the radio hit with 92.3. So I'll take a break here as soon as they call me, and then I'll jump back in after that. The stream. Yeah, maybe we'll do a new stream. Maybe that's what I'll tell Jeff is I'll launch a new one. So the draft continues at 4:10. So we'll come back at 4:00. Yeah, that's fine. All right, that's what I'll do. I will. At 4:00 I will set up a new stream at 4:00. So, yeah, we'll bounce out of this one. We'll be back at 4 o'clock. I'll share the stream with everybody else, and yeah, we'll be back. So Valera is just now rehabbing AZ. He is just now getting back into Arizona. He had a right flank injury, which I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. So George Valera, I still think he's going to be an option all this year because he won't be back in Columbus until like the end of the month, early August. And for what it's worth, I haven't heard that Valera's Valera. I haven't heard that the wrist injury on Chase the Lauder is necessarily bad. So there's that. Yeah, we'll be back here in a little bit for sure. Yeah, we'll be back. 4:40. Pete, man, you are a beast. 4:45 a.m. in Australia, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll be back. Don't worry about me. I'll be here." Man, I think Pete's even more dedicated than I am. Geez, maybe Pete should be hosting some shows. Like, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. That's a lot. I couldn't do it. My sleep schedule, the older I get sleeping, I don't do as well. I have to get to bed at a better time. I went to bed at 2 a.m. last night after everything we did, and I got to tell you, it was rough getting up today. I mean, I was excited to get up and continue to do this. It's just anymore, like if I'm not asleep by midnight, I am kind of wrecked the next day, whereas 10 years ago, even last year, to be honest with you, even last year, I was still going to bed super late with the podcast, and it was not good. So yeah, all right, I'm updating it for 4 o'clock, so we'll rejoin the stream at 4 o'clock, and yeah, we'll catch you guys at 4 p.m. So I have that scheduled on YouTube here now. Let me check to make sure it went through. Yeah, 4 o'clock. So we will see you guys back here at 4 o'clock, and we'll have a lot of fun then. So thanks for tuning into this, and appreciate everybody's interest. We'll be right back.